5 Live Breakfast.
About 80,000 people in England are being offered urgent tests for the South African variant of coronavirus. So it's London, the West Midlands, Hertfordshire, Kent, Surrey and Merseyside. The suspicion is that there is now community transmission of this particular variant. Emma Howard lives in the PR9 postcode area of Southport and runs a COVID-19 Southport support group.
From what I've read about this new variant, it's much more transmissible than the initial COVID. There's a lot of people on the group struggling. We don't know what to do about our vaccines. Can we go out? Loads of concerns, really.
5 Live Breakfast. Back tomorrow from 6.
This is 5 Live Sport with Kelly Cates.
Hello, welcome back to 5 Live Sport. Already tonight, it's finished Wolves 2, Arsenal 1. Arsenal down to 9 men by the end of that game. Sheffield United 2-1 winners over West Brom. The next commentary on 5 Live, Manchester United against Southampton. Alistair Bruce Ball is at Old Trafford. Ali, what's the team news?
Yeah, teams will be out on the pitch shortly. Kelly, Manchester United, just one change from the goalless draw at Arsenal at the weekend. Paul Pogba sits out a Premier League game for the first time in 8 league games. He's on the bench and Mason Greenwood comes in. And Southampton's injury list is really difficult for Ralph Hasenhüttl. So Oriol Romeo, Ibrahima Diallo and Theo Walcott all missing this evening, as are Kyle Walker-Peters and Yannick Vestergaard. 20-year-old Kane Ramsey will start at right back, first appearance of the season for him. 19-year-old Swiss midfielder Alexander Jankovic makes his first start for the club in midfield. Moussa Djenepo and Shea Adams come into the side tonight.
Thanks for now, Ali. We'll be back with you very shortly on Sports Extra. We'll bring you Newcastle against Crystal Palace, and Vicky Sparks is at St James's Park. Evening, Vicky.
Evening, yes, Kelly. Both sides hoping to make it back-to-back Premier League wins for only the second time this season. One change for Newcastle from their impressive victory at Everton. Kieran Clark in for the injured skipper Jamal Lascelles. Ryan Fraser has been struggling with illness but is fit enough to start. So Newcastle looks set for 4 at the back again, which will please their supporters. Maximan is again on the bench. He hasn't started since November after taking a long time to recover from COVID. No Joe Willock in the squad after his late deadline day loan move from Arsenal. Palace make 2 changes from their victory over Wolves. Gary Cahill and Jairo Riedewald come in for Sheku Koyate in the injured James McCarthy. Just 7 substitutes Crystal Palace name. One of them, Jean-Philippe Mateta, once again hoping to make his debut from the bench. And starting, Eberici Eze, once again looking to impress. He scored the winner against Wolves in his debut season with the Eagles. Is going from strength to strength. Just 4 points separate these two. Palace 14th, Newcastle 15th. A healthy buffer for both to the relegation zone. Now, can they build some of that precious momentum?
Vicky, thank you very much. Remember, commentary of that one on Sports Extra. Meanwhile, back at Old Trafford, alongside Alistair Bruce Ball, it's Mark Lawrenson. Good evening.
Kelly, okay?
All very well, thank you. And I'm just looking at Manchester United's results and this little wobble that they've had in the last couple of games. Is it any coincidence that it's coincided with Bruno Fernandes going 5 league appearances without a goal or assist? That's his worst spell since he joined Manchester United. Is he the key to what makes them tick?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, it's very unusually for somebody who's signed and knows nothing really about the Premier League apart from physically watching it on television. I mean, he's been outstanding. And I think if you're a striker in this Manchester United side and Fernandes is playing, it's great because the first thing he does, unlike a lot of midfield players we see at the moment, he looks forward, he looks to pass it, and he's not afraid to give it away, Kelly, in terms of trying to play somebody through. And you can just see, as soon as he's on the ball, whoever the front 3 for Manchester United are, straight away they're on it, they're thinking, this is coming to me. So he's made a fantastic difference since he's been here, and he is a proper player. I know people are now saying, he's not done it against the top 6 and all those kind of things, but his stats, and I'm not the greatest stats person in the world, but his stats are outstanding.
On stats, Manchester United have this fantastic away record this season. It's not terrible at Old Trafford, but it's not as good. Marcus Rashford with only 1 of his goals at Old Trafford this season. Sure. We think we know why they're so good away from home, because they like to play on the counter-attack. Do we know why it's not gone quite so well for them at Old Trafford?
Yeah, because they like to play on the counter-attack.
Same reason.
Yeah. I think the other thing about it is, look, we used to come here, obviously, at Liverpool, and if you got a corner, you did a lap of honour on occasions, and I think that's completely gone now. You said, we're playing at Old Trafford on the Saturday, you think, oh my goodness, that's going to be a nightmare, it's going to be like the Alamo, but it's just not anymore because of the circumstances. And I think lots of teams have come in and thought, look, we've nothing to fear, let's just go out and play, although I do fear for Southampton tonight because they are really seriously down to the bare bones in terms of players.
They are, aren't they? And they're really struggling to score goals. And I know that they've had injuries up front in that time, but it's been it is a real concern for them. Yeah,
but they've had an excellent season thus far. I think they've got one of the best managers in the league. Doesn't go mad when they keep winning, doesn't go mad if they keep losing. And I just think that they've turned themselves into a very, very good side when they are all fit, of which, of course, tonight the majority of them just simply aren't.
So, on Sports Extra at the moment, Newcastle United against Crystal Palace from St James's. You can hear commentary of that one. You can listen to all our commentary via the red button, so you can watch it with all the final score graphics, and you can follow that on the website as well. And you can listen to commentary from Old Trafford. It's Manchester United against Southampton with Mark Lawrenson and Alistair Bruce Ball.
Thank you, Kelly. Just watching the two managers here at Old Trafford greeting each other on the touchline. A little elbow bump between Ralph Hasenhüttl and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who actually took over these two teams at pretty much the same time, Mark. And the one thing I was thinking about them is, and there are different expectations for each club, is you can't argue against the fact that both of them have improved their teams since they've taken them over, haven't they?
Well, you rely on your results, obviously, and both of them so far have done really, really good jobs. Different expectation, quite obviously, at Old Trafford. But, the thing as well about it is that 9-0 defeat by Leicester, most chief execs, owners of football clubs would have gone, the manager's gone, but they stuck with him, and they've been repaid.
Yeah, they're in a rough little trot at the moment. The injuries are costing them. They've lost their last 3 games in the Premier League, beaten at home by Aston Villa at the weekend. Before we get underway here, there's been a goal in the game between Kilmarnock and Celtic. Roddy Forsyth.
And it'll come as some relief to Neil Lennon and also his captain Scott Brown, who was suspended for the last 2 games. Turnbull corner kick from the right, dipping right into the heart of the box, and Brown showing unusual agility for his years. Diving header flicked away from the goalkeeper. It's Kilmarnock 0, Celtic 1.
Thank you, Roddy. Yes, it's a 5 Live final score this evening. So if you want to keep across everything else that is going on in the world of football, you can listen to our commentary here alongside the final score graphics and the video printer. The way you do that is either via the red button, the iPlayer, or the BBC Sports app, and you click on 5 Live final score. I've also got my own little video printer sitting here away to my right-hand side. So if you are listening and watching, you can actually check that I'm getting it all right. And I've also got Gary Flintoff with me here, who's going to pass me little bits of paper telling me things like the fact that Tom Naylor has scored in League 2. It's now Charlton 1, Portsmouth 2. So we shouldn't be missing a goal this evening.
Is the coffee machine still working, which might be more important?
That's the big question. The rain has stopped. We've had really, really heavy on-off showers here in the last hour or so at Old Trafford. But there's just a sort of mist in the air as Mike Dean blows his whistle and all the players take the knee ahead of kick-off here. Manchester United sitting in second place in the Premier League, and Edison Cavani's just a little too eager, as is Shea Adams, to get the game underway. So they trot back either side of the halfway line, and Mike Dean says we're OK to go. And here we go. Southampton looking very un-Southampton-like, actually, in dark blue this evening, all in dark blue. Blue shirts, blue shorts, blue socks, with that's a sort of greenish lettering and numbering on the back, and Manchester United looking very much like Manchester United in the red shirts, white shorts, black socks, and they are defending the goal in front of the Stretford end, away to our left-hand side first half. Early goal at St James's Park, Vicky Sparks.
Whoa, how about this for a start from Newcastle United? Inside the opening 2 minutes, John Joe Shelby from the edge of the penalty area fired it down into the ground and past Vicente Guaita. It was well worked initially by Almiron into Wilson, knocked it down for Shelby. That's the front foot that Newcastle and Steve Bruce wanted. They've got it. They lead Crystal Palace by a goal to 0.
Thank you, Vicky. Commentary continues on 5 Live Sports Extra. Nottingham Forest now 2-1 up at Coventry. Underway here at Old Trafford, minute played. Manchester United attacking down the right. I'll give you the two Full lineups in a second when we get a break in play, and early thoughts from Mark Lawrenson as well. Stuart Armstrong is on the ball for Southampton, the Scottish international. McTominay, Jankovic went with it's a red card for the 19-year-old in the second minute of the game. There was a bouncing ball just inside the Manchester United half. The worry now is for Scott McTominay, who is down in real pain, but Jankovic came in high and hard, and he caught McTominay, and I don't think we even need to see the replay there, Mark, to tell us that that was a red card.
Well, and Mike Dean straight away was in a really good position to see it. Just very, very high and very, very late. It was one of those, first tackle of the game for him, and he just got it, unfortunately for him, spectacularly wrong.
Yeah, he's on his way, and that is really sad. I'm sure he didn't mean to do any damage. He's hiked up. It's his first start for the club. So 2 substitute appearances recently in the FA Cup and then on the weekend against Aston Villa. Mark, you're just looking at it again?
Yeah. No, it's just a really, really poor challenge. I think you're right, though. It wasn't deliberate. It was just, whoa, I've got to go and tackle, and he was, a split second late.
Well, he's being walked off the field with one of the Southampton coaching staff, and he doesn't look visibly upset at the moment, but I'm sure he will be. Actually, credit to him, he did go and check McTominay was okay before leaving the field. No complaints whatsoever. And already, Southampton missing so many players.
You can see the stud marks, can't you, down McTominay's inner left thigh?
Yeah.
That's how high it was. And in fairness to Ralph Hasenhüttl, he looked at it just on the monitor, and he turned round and shook his head as to say, that is not good.
Yeah.
That's all he needs, isn't it?
Well, that's Jankovic out for 3 games, and he's in this midfield at the moment because they're missing the likes of Ibrahima Diallo, Oriol Romeu, Theo Walcott is missing. Southampton down to 10 early on. Really dramatic start then to our 8:15 kickoffs in the Premier League. John Joe Shelby with a second-minute goal. Newcastle 1, Palace 0, and Southampton down to 10 men at Old Trafford.
And I think what they're doing, they're going to leave Shea Evans up through the middle on his own, and looks like Danny Ings will probably just have to play left side of midfield, tucked in a little bit.
Yeah, and this is where the manager and his players earn their corner. Manchester United immediately in round the back. Cavani's found Rashford onto his right foot, lays it back, almost found Fernandes. Southampton get enough bodies in the way. Gineppo in the right back position is trying to clear. Shaw tackles him. Manchester United right on top of Southampton, trying to make the man's advantage count straight away. 4 minutes played. Manchester United 0, Southampton 0. Newcastle leading Crystal Palace by 1-0. Wan-Bissaka waiting for a pass to arrive in front of us on the right-hand touchline for United. So yes, Shea Adams through the middle, Danny Ings wide left, 4-4-1. Ward-Prowse and Armstrong in central midfield, and Moussa Gineppo trying to deal with Marcus Rashford on that left wing for Manchester United.
And the other thing as well is if you're Ralph Hasenhüttl, you're thinking as the game started, look, we're down to bare bones a little bit, but I can give some of these lads an hour. They can run and run and run. When you look at the bench now and you've only got 9 outfield players, it's going to be really, really difficult for them.
Well, they're so stretched. Caleb Watts was actually named on the bench this evening, Mark, and is not now, has had to withdraw. So they've actually only got 8 subs, and 2 of them are goalkeepers, and the only experienced outfield player is Nathan Redmond.
Did we know why he's withdrawn?
I don't, actually, but we will find out.
Saw the Man United team sheet, maybe?
Could possibly have been that. And I know I still need to give you the Manchester United team, and I will do that in just a second. Alex McCarthy in goal for Southampton, just to complete their back four. 20-year-old Kane Ramsey, first appearance of the season for him. Bednarek and Stevens, the 2 centre-backs, and Ryan Bertrand at left-back. So, Manchester United, the change tonight from the game against Arsenal is Paul Pogba on the bench, and Mason Greenwood comes in on the right of the sort of attacking 3 behind Cavani. De Gea in goal, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire and Shaw. Fred and McTominay, who thankfully is okay. I'm sure that left leg will be sore, but nothing worse than that. Greenwood, Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford. Cavani through the middle. Danny Ings with the outside of his right foot. Rare Southampton attack. Can't find Gineppo. De Gea in bright orange plays a low ball out to Luke Shaw on the left. Shaw curls a teasing one down that left-hand touchline. Rashford can't get there. He's beaten to it, and it's knocked out by Kane Ramsey, but the likes of Rashford, Greenwood, Bruno Fernandes, Cavani should be licking their lips now, Mark.
You would have thought so, but sometimes, against 10 men, there's that thing where you think you can have an extra touch, and all you do is really slow the play down, which helps the 10 men.
Manchester United on the ball, attacking the goal away to our right with the East stand behind it. Fred whips a pacey pass with his left foot out to Shaw, takes a touch, early cross in beyond Cavani at the far post. Danny Ings back there in the left back position, hooks it away and out for a Manchester United throw. Portsmouth now have a third goal at the Valley. Charlton 1, Portsmouth 3 in League One. And when I get a sec as well, I'll just run you through some of the full-time scores, because the kickoffs are all over the place at the moment. The way this 6 o'clocks and 7 o'clocks and 7:45s and 8:15s. Wan-Bissaka back to Harry Maguire, who's in the centre circle for Manchester United. Wide quickly via Shaw to Rashford. Takes on Ramsey, who gets a foot on the ball. Ward-Prowse is there to help. Manages to clear it. Maguire, good ball towards Fernandes. Lays it off to Fred. Gets it back. Gives it to Cavani. Cavani's just forced a little bit wide. Shifts it back quickly to Shaw. Fred, 25 yards out, goes for the curler and curls it wide and behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, I think he slapped it more than anything, didn't he? I know this won't happen now, but you actually look at Manchester United. Do you need McTominay and Fred? Maybe something that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer might look at.
Bit harsh, actually. I mean, I know there's no sentiment in it, Mark, but if you had to come off after 10-15 minutes, but you do it for the team, don't you? It's what's good for the team.
So he won't get a reduction in his wages, don't worry, Ali.
Manchester United 0, Southampton 0. Penalty in the game between Bournemouth and Sheffield Wednesday. Chris Wise is watching this one.
It's a Bournemouth penalty. Sheffield Wednesday leading 1-0 here at the Vitality Stadium. Surridge has been hauled down by Hutchinson. It is Junior Stanislas who will take this Bournemouth penalty. We're in the 65th minute. Here comes Stanislas with his right foot, and he beats the goalkeeper, and Bournemouth are level. Bournemouth 1, Sheffield Wednesday 1.
Thank you, Chris. Millwall 0, Norwich 0. So the leaders held at the Den. That was a 6 o'clock kickoff. That is full time. Forest 2-1 up at Coventry. Wickham 0, Birmingham 0. Rotherham Derby postponed because of a waterlogged pitch this evening. In the Premier League, if you haven't heard, Sheffield United with another win. Came from a goal down at home to beat West Brom by 2-1. Arsenal finished the game with 9 men at Molineux and lost 2-1. We saw a lovely little feint and bit of skill from Bruno Fernandes there while Bournemouth was scoring that penalty, didn't we, Mark?
We did indeed. I mean, now he can showcase all his skills, and people like Wan-Bissaka basically should just be playing this game, and Luke Shaw in Southampton's half.
Coming up to 9 minutes played, 0-0. Other full times, Swindon have beaten Wigan 1-0 in a relegation battle in League One. Both of those two down there. And Forest Green Rovers have actually leapfrogged Carlisle this evening. Carlisle 1, Forest Green Rovers 2. What have you spotted, Mark?
Just McTominay, just before the tackle, it looked like he'd handball the ball.
Right.
Or it seemed certainly towards the top of his arm. And obviously, if the referee'd seen it, he might have blown for that infringement.
Before
and obviously
challenge.
Southampton would still have 11.
They have 10, and they've got a lot of defending to do, and it's Manchester United on the ball, and McTominay with the short shaven hair with his right foot fires one across field to Luke Shaw. Fred on the ball, looks right and left, plays it down the inside left channel to Cavani. Nice layoff from him wide to Rashford. Rashford back to Fred, edge of the Southampton penalty area. McTominay, Bruno Fernandes on the turn. Wan-Bissaka here, wide on the right, back to Fernandes, crosses blocked by Danny Ings. Wan-Bissaka is going to keep that in play, but actually he was in an offside position, so free kick Southampton.
I don't know why Wan-Bissaka didn't just play it in. He had at least half yard, maybe even a yard, get his head up and knock it in. He was only 6 yards away from the touchline.
So just to remind you how things stand in the Premier League table ahead of this latest round of fixtures which has got underway this evening. Manchester City top on 44. Manchester United started tonight 3 points behind them, having played a game more, so they can go level with Manchester City on points this evening, but they will then have played 2 games more. And Southampton, actually, after their excellent first half to the season, find themselves in the bottom half of the table at the moment, starting this evening on 29 points. But saying that is only 4 points behind Tottenham in 6th. Mason Greenwood, skills at close quarters, finds Cavani. Cavani plays it back to the halfway line, and here's Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw just comes trotting forward. Rashford pops up on his left, running towards him, plays it back to Maguire. Maguire with his right foot goes for that diagonal to the left, and Luke Shaw can't quite catch it. Skips away off this wet top surface and behind for a goal kick.
Just had a little bit of fade on it, didn't he? That was the problem. Otherwise, it would have been perfect.
So goal kick, Southampton. Alex McCarthy all in yellow. And if you are just tuning in, Alexander Jankovic, probably a name you may not be too familiar with, 19-year-old Swiss midfielder making his first start for the club, sent off in the second minute of the game for a poor challenge on Scott McTominay. Let's pay a visit to St James's Park. Vicky Sparks.
Where Newcastle still lead Crystal Palace by 1-0. John Joe Shelby scoring inside the opening 2 minutes. Jordan Ayew has just gone close with a header as Patrick Van Aanholt fires over from the edge of the penalty area. Ayew stooping on the edge of the 6-yard box, but he was just eased off it by the defender, headed behind for a corner. So it remains 1-0 to Newcastle. And you mentioned the rain easing at Old Trafford, Ali. It is absolutely torrential here, and this press box is open to the elements, so much so that 2 members of the Crystal Palace press team are huddled behind umbrellas to my right. So I can't really see the right-hand corner flag because the umbrellas are in the way. I regret leaving mine in my car. I might go and get it at half-time. Newcastle 1, Crystal Palace 0.
Thank you, Vicky. No, rain not falling here. Manchester United 0, Southampton 0. Wan-Bissaka has managed to turn away from Danny Ings. He's 10 yards inside the Southampton half, puts his foot on the ball, plays it across to Fred, back to Lindelof, who I noticed actually it's not that cold this evening, but he was warming up in the bobble hat this evening, Lindelof. So he obviously is a Swede as well. He must be used to the chill possibly. But
it's obviously a soft Swede.
Yeah, it could be. Maybe just a fashion statement. Rashford to Shaw, infield to Fred, just on the edge of the box. Greenwood is there again. Great skills at close quarters, eventually tackled. Ramsey chips the ball away. Tire game at the moment until this point being played in the Southampton half. Ward-Prowse clears one long downfield. Shea Adams chases, but De Gea off his line and gets to the ball first, plays it out, and Bruno Fernandes has dropped deep here to try and get an attacking move going for Manchester United. Fred lofts one to his right. Wan-Bissaka chests it down. McTominay makes a run down the right. Cross is blocked by Danny Ings. The ball spins back to Wan-Bissaka. He plays it to Fred. Curls a ball into the box. Luke Shaw unmarked at the far post. Shot from Greenwood. Closed down quickly by Jack Stevens. And Manchester United will recycle with Maguire on the left. Down the line to Luke Shaw. Shaw slips into the challenge there. Gineppo gets a foot on the ball, throwing Manchester United. Mark.
Just Manchester United are probably guilty of having that extra touch, which we talked about before. You know, because you've only got 9 outfield players playing against you, and you ended up just slowing the game down.
McTominay, the entire Southampton team in front of him, plays the ball to his left. Maguire's just 10 yards outside the box. Wide to Rashford, cross into that near post. Bednarek up this time to head it away for Southampton. Those two centre-backs are going to be extremely busy.
Lindelof is 35 yards in Southampton's half. There's nobody apart from the goalkeeper.
Here's McTominay to Wan-Bissaka just outside the Southampton box. Good ball from McTominay right across the face of goal. Fred almost got ahead on that, and it took a deflection and went out for a Manchester United throw wide on the left.
Yeah, I think it was Bednarek. It's a really good defensive header, actually. Just helps it behind him, away from any Manchester United player.
14 minutes played. Mark Lawrenson with us here at Old Trafford. Newcastle are leading Crystal Palace by a goal to 0 at St James's Park. Here it's Manchester United 0, the 10 men of Southampton 0. Maguire with his right foot. Greenwood closed out on the edge of the box. Maguire wins it back for United. Finds Rashford on the left. Little get and go with Bruno Fernandes. Right-footed curling cross from him. Bertrand heads it away. McTominay nods it down. And Lindelof plays it to his left and finds Maguire. Fernandes just ran away from him there. Gineppo is able to get onto it and clear it for Southampton. And the ball's gone out for a throw. Half-time at Rugby Park. Roddy Forsyth.
Come on, at 0 Celtic 1. The goal scored by Scott Brown. Flying header inside the box from Turnbull's corner. Brown lucky to get away with a flying elbow on Aaron Shibboleth. Shibboleth not so lucky when he tried to get revenge and was yellow carded. Them's the breaks. Come on, at 0 Celtic 1.
Thank you, Roddy. Rashford with a shot on goal while we were with Roddy there. I didn't actually notice, Mark. I thought we had time to go to Roddy, but they picked up a replacement ball and they were back underway straight away. Shot straight at Alex McCarthy, who made a comfortable save.
First shot he's had to stop, I think.
Yep. 15 minutes gone. 0-0. Lindelof, long clearance downfield, heads it down to the feet of Fred. Michael Carrick on the sidelines for Manchester United at the moment, watching calmly with his hands behind his back. Now, Cavani wasn't expecting that early ball from Greenwood, so Jack Stevens, who I think some call the Cornish Maldini, on the ball for Southampton.
Sure it's not the Cornish pasty.
And the ball is inside the Manchester United half. Lob forward by Danny Ings. Half a chance here for Southampton on the break. Armstrong making a burst forward. Adams plays it back to Ward-Prowse. Will fancy it from here. Hits it with the right foot, but slices it wide. Low and wide. And behind for a United goal kick.
Good play, though, from Southampton. Very, very good play. There was only, probably 3 of the players involved in it. In the end, it was a decent shot, but didn't really test De Gea.
Just seeing if any other goals have gone in around and about. Roddy's given us the half-time from Rugby Park. Kilmarnock 0, Celtic 1. But other than that, no. So far, so good. Manchester United looking for a breakthrough against 10-man Southampton. Lindelof, long ball forward. Rashford lets it fly over his left shoulder. Knew he had the pace to catch it down by the corner flag on the left. He's able to run at Kane Ramsey. Gineppo slips. Shaw crosses the ball in. Wan-Bissaka got a touch. In off the post it goes, and Manchester United have their lead. Delicious cross from fullback to fullback. Wan-Bissaka arrived at speed, and if VAR say that's okay, it's Manchester United 1, Southampton 0.
Well, 2 things. Great ball in, and Wan-Bissaka came in from the right back position, right wing in this instance as well, and his finish was excellent. First time across the goalkeeper, no chance. And you might say, Ali, you might say that's the position basically where the guy who was sent off would have been.
Yeah, just having a look on the face of Ralph Hasenhüttl with our close-up there. This could be a long night for Southampton. Manchester United, actually with the quicker ball there, they're just checking the offside against Marcus Rashford, the initial ball from Lindelof, which he then played back to Luke Shaw. It's okay, all good. Goal stands. Shaw's cross in, Wan-Bissaka runs from deep, first time finish. Manchester United 1, Southampton 0. Back to Vicky Sparks in the pouring rain.
Still 1-0 Newcastle, still getting very wet, but we almost saw what would have been one of the goals of the season from Callum Wilson. The ball in from Fraser, and Wilson tried a backheeled volley on the edge of the 6-yard box. It sailed just over the bar. It was a beautiful piece of improvisation. Newcastle looking good, looking confident. 1-0 they lead Crystal Palace.
Free kick, Southampton, which will give them an opportunity to test the Manchester United back line. It's about 35 yards from goal. It's wide on the left. James Ward-Prowse has left it actually for the left back Ryan Bertrand, and Ward-Prowse will hover on the edge of the penalty area in case the ball is cleared. Bertrand's delivery in, Fernandes heads it behind. Southampton will get a corner, and James Ward-Prowse will definitely take that one.
Just looking back to Manchester United's opening goal, it was Danny Ings who was caught just slightly sleeping, which understandable. This is a striker when all said and done, and Wan-Bissaka got a yard in front of him, and 1-0 to Manchester United.
Wan-Bissaka's second goal of the season. The other one came in a win at Newcastle. Southampton have a corner. This will be dangerous for Manchester United, and Manchester United have 4 or 5 defenders pretty much lined up on the goal line. 3 or 4 blue shirts in that 6-yard box as well. Here is Ward-Prowse right underneath the crossbar. De Gea punches it in the air. He was fouled as he did that, and Manchester United will get the free kick. But of course, goal conceded against Sheffield United, which actually Manchester United weren't happy about, was a delivery like that, wasn't it?
Yeah. So
on top of De Gea.
So why foul him?
Yeah.
Let him make a mistake. Absolutely, 100%. Put him under pressure, but just don't foul him.
Another goal at St James's Park, Vicky.
Beautiful equaliser for Crystal Palace. 1-1 with Newcastle. Ball came out of the penalty area, found Jaro Riedewald on the edge of the D, hit it first time, a rocket straight down the middle of the goal, past Darlow before he knew that it was flying past him. What a pace it had. Newcastle 1, Crystal Palace 1.
20 minutes played here. Manchester United leading 10-man Southampton by a goal to 0. Stuart Armstrong's got to be careful inside his own half. Couldn't find Ward-Prowse with the pass. He was under pressure. Manchester United have it again, and you get the feeling this game will establish quite a repetitive pattern, actually, Mark.
Yeah, and just in the last attack, Manchester United, there was a great flick by Cavani into Fernandes.
Yeah, wouldn't quite fall for Fernandes. Another good chance for Manchester United. So there's Danny Ings again in that sort of left midfield position, just looking over his shoulder. Wan-Bissaka again is starting to make a run here. Rashford looking for Fernandes. Fernandes had to stretch, couldn't control it. Southampton, struggling to clear. They've given it back to Rashford inside the penalty area. Then they get the challenge in and clear. And here's Harry Maguire wide on the left-hand side. Daisy stuff from the centre-back, who eventually gets fouled and wins a free kick for Manchester United. Tomorrow night then, 4 more commentaries for you across 5 Live and 5 Live Sports Extra. The leaders, Manchester City away at Burnley. That's a 6 o'clock kickoff on 5 Live. Fulham Leicester on Sports Extra. I'm alongside Charlie Austin for that one, who's going to make a commentary debut on the network, which will be good. Villa West Ham on Sports Extra at 8:15 tomorrow night, which should be a good game. Liverpool at home to Brighton after the back-to-back wins in the capital against Tottenham and West Ham. Free kick Manchester United. Luke Shaw, who created the first goal for Wan-Bissaka. Here's the whistle, curls it in, and an effort wide from Lindelof. The offside flag goes up, it wouldn't have counted, and so Southampton can get us back underway.
I'm not sure Southampton played for offside there, because they were a little bit fortunate. Ended up 3 of the Manchester United players, Lindelof included, could have just poked that home.
By the way, for those of a fantasy football persuasion, I can let you know that Chris Sutton brought Luke Shaw into his team this week, and that assist will please him greatly, and pleases me less so. And if you're not bothered about fantasy football, then don't worry about it.
I'm not sure I'm worrying.
McCarthy clears, ball on the halfway line, and Cavani pops it back to Lindelof. Now, Edison Cavani scored a couple of goals at the St Mary's Stadium when Manchester United won that game in November by 3-2. Southampton were 2-0 up at half-time, and Manchester United, with a stunning second-half comeback, won that one. Very different game this evening. Fernandes directing operations, plays the ball wide to the goal-scorer Wan-Bissaka, back to Rashford, now McTominay across here to Maguire, who again is encouraged to get forward. Shaw, first time, ball drifting across the penalty area and behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, without stating the obvious, Wan-Bissaka really should have most touches of any Manchester United player here tonight. He's virtually just alone down that right back position, up and down, up and down. Danny Ings is having to tuck in because obviously they're down to 10 men. So he's always free, Wan-Bissaka.
Newcastle 1, Palace 1, Manchester United 1, Southampton 0. It's not Newcastle 1, Palace 1 anymore. There's been another goal, Vicky Sparks.
And Crystal Palace have come from behind to turn it around. They lead Newcastle by 2-1. Lovely free kick whipped in from the right-hand side by Eze, and a brilliant run across the 6-yard box by Gary Cahill. The header flicking it across goal, his first goal for Crystal Palace, and they've turned it around. They lead 2-1 at St James's Park.
All happening there. Here's McTominay on the ball for Manchester United. Just stuttered for a second and then plays a low pass wide to Luke Shaw. It's Greenwood over there on the left, isn't it? Greenwood and Rashford have just swapped for a second. Shaw again, getting more space down the left, on the move into the penalty area, finds Greenwood, cut back here, Rashford, McCarthy couldn't stop it. Manchester United have a second, and this is very easy for Manchester United at the moment. Manchester United 2, Southampton 0.
Oh dear, you disappear for Southampton really here. Generally they've been organised, make it difficult for Manchester United to beat, but really with that goal I'm not actually sure where any of the defenders were.
Trouble for Southampton.
Yeah.
As we were saying, Ralph Hasenhüttl is muttering under his breath as he stomps back into the away team dugout. He can't quite believe that goal they've conceded. We'll have a look again. Ball is played left to Luke Shaw. Shaw able to run in on the diagonal, found Greenwood, who's well onside, cuts it back to Marcus Rashford. Caught it well first time, didn't he, Mark?
Yeah, he could probably caught it better. I think the goalkeeper got a little bit of a touch to it, I think. Yeah, he did. But still too much for him.
So Manchester United 2, Southampton 0, and Palace 2-1 up at Newcastle in the 8:15 kickoffs. I should have said as well, by the way, Tottenham-Chelsea Thursday night is also a 5 Live commentary. And Liverpool-Manchester City is the centrepiece on Sunday on 5 Live. It kicks off at 4:30. What about that one?
Oh yeah. We'll all be watching that, I'm reckoning.
Right, corner Southampton, trailing 2-0 and in deep trouble here. Jankovic sent off in the second minute. But they have this corner. Ward-Prowse very deliberately places the ball down on the edge of the quadrant. Holds his left arm in the air, runs up the slope, whips it into the near post. Fernandez is there to head it away. Gineppo jumps for it on the edge of the box, gets clattered into and wins the free kick for Southampton. And James Ward-Prowse will love this. Couple of yards outside the penalty area in a central position.
Poor challenge. I think it's Cavani. I think he turned his back as the ball was in the air. He just turned his back and he hit him with his body, basically, or he seemed to.
David De Gea may be a little concerned by this, because Ward-Prowse whipped one past him in the game at St Mary's, where David De Gea did everything right, got the wall in the right position, and basically said to Ward-Prowse, "Can you hit it in that far corner?" And Ward-Prowse said, "I can." He's
not the only goalkeeper he's done it to. No. He's probably the best free kick taker in this particular position in the Premier League.
Yeah, and could potentially, I mean, we'll have to see, be very, very useful for England in the Euros.
What's that, 2028?
It could be, Mark. We'll have to wait and see. Right on the edge of the penalty area. This actually inside the D. So will Manchester United do the relatively new trick, modern trick of having someone lie down?
I don't think they will.
No. Okay.
The other thing is,
or is Fred going to do that?
It is so central.
Yeah.
What does the goalkeeper do? Where does he stand? So he's standing slightly to our right as we look.
Yeah.
So he's saying to Ward-Prowse, if you want to stick it there, go for it.
Yeah, that's what he did at St Mary's in November, and Ward-Prowse managed to do it. Let's see what Ward-Prowse can do this time. This will definitely come at serious pace. Pause from Ward-Prowse with that right foot. Oh! Did that hit the crossbar? Did De Gea get a hand to it? It went flying towards the top corner. De Gea's got a hand to that, and it's gone behind for a corner.
It was at the right side for De Gea, wasn't it? It's still a very, very good save. The amount of whip and pace he gets on the ball is outstanding. Really is.
So corner Southampton. Just seeing the save again, and as you said, Mark, quite right, he just moved a couple of steps to his left, and it was towards him. So it came at pace, but he basically just stuck the arm up, got it there in time.
Bruno Fernandes was delighted. It was about 2 centimetres from hitting him square in the forehead.
That would have hurt. Corner, Southampton from the right. In-swinger from Ryan Bertrand. In it comes. De Gea punches that away. Double-fisted. Greenwood, who created that second goal for Marcus Rashford, chests the ball down, claims that Manchester United should have a throw, and gets the decision. Back to St James's Park, Vicky Sparks.
Where Crystal Palace could have had a third. They still lead Newcastle by 2-1. Newcastle with a shot blocked in the penalty area. Shelby won't latch onto it. Fraser will, and it's saved by Guaita. Newcastle, apart from that little effort we just heard about there, have looked shell-shocked. Crystal Palace coming back into it, could have had that third. Zaha stuck the ball in the net after Batshuayi miscued, but it was ruled offside. Crystal Palace, who've come from behind, still lead Newcastle by 2-1.
Manchester United leading Southampton by 2-0. Here's one for you, Mark. Accrington Stanley have a fifth early in the second half against Bristol Rovers. I think Bristol Rovers 5-1 this evening.
John Coleman lives in my village. He's a shrewd manager, very, very shrewd. I think yesterday with the deadline, he's taken a lad who belongs to Burnley, who'd been on loan at Morecambe, scored 10 goals, midfield player. He went back to Burnley yesterday, then he's gone to Accrington Stanley with JC, so they have a sneaky little chance of getting promotion, you know.
Yeah, well, if we just click on to the old league tables, I think that has them just outside the playoff positions at the moment, up to 7th with games in hand as well. If you're an Accrington Stanley fan, that is extremely good news. Bruno Fernandes playing the ball back here to Luke Shaw. So Manchester United very comfortable. Southampton's squad stretched, and it stretched even further with the early sending off of 19-year-old Alexander Jankovic. A night for him to forget at Old Trafford. Here's Lindelof on the ball with his right foot wide to Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka comes back to McTominay, number 39 on his back for Manchester United. Lindelof, glorious isolation in the centre circle to Maguire, who's about 10 yards further ahead of him. Rashford with a crisp first-time ball to Luke Shaw, couldn't control it. Bednarek clears with his right foot. Maguire heads it down. towards Fred, turns it round the corner to Fernandez, looking for Greenwood. Greenwood's tackled, Armstrong on the ball for Southampton, slips, unfortunately for them. Greenwood straight onto it, and onto his left foot, pokes it to Rashford. Rashford drags it back onto his right foot, finds Fernandez, corner of the box, he shoots, McCarthy down to his left, palms it behind for a corner.
Guess who was in there to finish it off if it came back? Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah. Corner then, Manchester United.
I think it's a decent save. It wasn't a great save, was it?
It wasn't, no. As the shot left his boot, you thought he should save that quite comfortably.
Yeah.
And as Kelly was telling us before the game, Bruno Fernandes without a goal or an assist in the last 5 Premier League games for Manchester United, which is very, very unusual for him.
Sell him.
Fernandes getting ready to take the corner. 14 minutes left in the first half. Fernandes with his right foot. An away swinger. Away, shout these Southampton voices as they come piling out of the penalty area. Shaw with a quick ball to Cavani. Corner of the Southampton box with his right foot. Rolls it back to Lindelof. Lindelof across here to Fred. Fred to Fernandes in the right wing position. Good ball in. Diving header behind. That's the Cornish Maldini again, who nods it behind Jack Stevens. Corner for Manchester United.
He's made 2, if not 3, excellent clearances so far. Great ball from Fernandes, wasn't it?
Yeah. Mark Roberts sent off for Birmingham. Wickham 0, Birmingham 0. Kicked off at 7 o'clock, so that game almost over, but Birmingham are going to finish it with 10 men. Fernandes, deeper corner this time. Maguire jumps for it, can't get a proper header on it. Shaw drives on into the ground. McCarthy down by his near post is able to make a comfortable save and just lets the penalty area clear. Yeah,
I think he was just outside the box, wasn't he, Luke Shaw, as well, and he hit it into the ground, so again another comfortable save from McCarthy.
Adam Phillips is the player you're talking about from Burnley at Accrington Stanley. A goal at Bournemouth, Chris Wise.
And probably the winning goal for Sheffield Wednesday. Bournemouth 1, Sheffield Wednesday 2 in the 90th minute. The 2 substitutes combining. Kadeem Harris, ball from the right, absolute beauty. Jordan Rhodes attacked it at the far post, met it brilliantly. Sheffield Wednesday heading for a very big 3 points. Bournemouth 1, Sheffield Wednesday 2.
Yeah, looking at the table as it stands, Sheffield Wednesday will be on 25 and they will be 3 points behind Birmingham, sitting just outside that relegation zone at the moment. Maguire on the ball for Manchester United. Been a stroll for them so far this evening at home. Just 1 win in their last 4 Premier League games. Beaten here last week by Sheffield United, and 4 defeats at Old Trafford this season. But 2-0 up against 10 men and in total control of this game. Lindelof to Maguire. Maguire with his right foot. Finds Cavani edge of the box, looking for Fernandes, who turns. The ball runs to Rashford in space on the right. Low ball in, that's an own goal. It's come off Bednarek, he's stretched out a left leg, and it's gone flying into the corner of the Southampton net. Manchester United 3, Southampton 0.
Well, the cross has made the goal, hasn't it? Unfortunately for Southampton, Bednarek facing his own goal, he makes a decision, a split-second one. Do I dare leave it? I do try and deflect it past the post, and he made the decision to try and deflect it, and of course he went straight into his own net.
Be interested to see the replay, Mark, whether there was someone actually lurking behind him who would have stuck it in anyway, whether he had to do that.
You would like to think there might have been, wouldn't you? Because there's enough red shirts in there, I think, when it comes out.
And the delivery is good as well. Here we go, Rashford.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, there's two of them.
Two of them.
So he had to do it, and unfortunately it's ended up in the back of his own net. And Manchester United, unless something utterly miraculous happens, are winning this game this evening. The other thing, I guess you would say, Mark, from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's point of view, is chance possibly to rest some, take them off after an hour and give them a breather.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ings, edge of the Manchester United box. Southampton have got to keep going. All right, Burton dived in there on Wan-Bissaka. He evaded the challenge forward to Fernandes. This could be any number, actually, the way this is going.
Well, you're just looking at Southampton. If you're Ralph Hasenhüttl, you look into your players and you're just thinking, go on, character. Nothing else. Show me your character.
Blackpool 2, Northampton 0. Jerry Yates in the 92nd minute of that game. And Crystal Palace still leading Newcastle by 2-1, despite going behind early on. Full commentary of that is over on 5 Live Sports Extra at the moment. McTominay on the ball for United. Still 10 minutes remaining in the first half. United 3, Southampton 0. Maguire to Shaw. Rashford down by the byline on the left. So much time to pick out Fred. Back to Shaw. Shaw to Fernandes. Fernandes lays it off to McTominay, who drives it over the crossbar and behind for a goal kick.
hit across it, didn't he? I think the problem now with Southampton as well is they are sat in so deep that Manchester United players on the edge of Southampton's penalty area are getting a half a second extra than they normally would, because purely and simply Southampton are thinking, well, let's just try and block the goal as much as anything.
Dare I ask this question, Mark? And I don't know this.
Go on.
Were you sent off in your career?
Yes.
What was the earliest you were sent off? Did you ever have a second minuter? No. Okay.
I was the first person sent off for Liverpool in the European Cup.
Were you?
And you're going to say, you're bound to say this, but on my children's life, I never did anything. It was in Bulgaria.
Right.
It was extremely dodgy, and we asked for the tape of the game. We didn't get it because we were going to appeal, but such is life.
Okay. And did the manager agree with you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely, yeah.
Mark, of course, European Cup winner with Liverpool and 5 times a title winner. That's what Manchester United have got their eyes on this season. Win tonight puts them level on points with Manchester City on top of the table. Manchester City away to Burnley tomorrow. That game kicks off at 6 o'clock and it will be a commentary on 5 Live. Penalty at Rugby Park, ready for Scythe.
Penalty for Celtic, odds on Edward after Brown being brought down just inside the box. Edward comes up, takes his time with this one, into the net, just beyond the grasp of the goalkeeper. Kilmarnock 0, Celtic 2.
Okay, so Celtic win this evening would have them 20 points behind Rangers with a game in hand. Aberdeen 0, Livingston 2, St Mirren 1, Hibs 2 results in the Scottish Premiership earlier on this evening. Manchester United leading Southampton 3-0. Cavani's not on the score sheet yet. He'll definitely want one. I'm sure Fernandez will as well. McTominay. Right, oh, what a back heel. First time ball from Fernandez to Wan-Bissaka, who's got the pace to get past Bednarek. Crossing, Cavani's shot, brilliantly blocked. Cavani might get another chance, tackle on him. And actually, Mike Dean's given that as a goal kick. Oh, the pass from Fernandez.
Sumptuous. Oh. Absolutely sumptuous, wasn't it? Brilliant. Wan-Bissaka's having a game of his life here. It's like George Best on the right wing.
Yeah, they're enjoying themselves. Vicky Sparks, what's the latest?
3 big chances for Newcastle to get back on level terms against Crystal Palace. The biggest for Ryan Fraser, played in behind by Callum Wilson, but Vicente Guaita did excellently, made himself big and made the save. Clark has flicked a header wide as well as the shot is driven in just past the post by Fabian Schär, and Almiron has seen a free kick take a nick off the wall and then off the bar. They're pushing Newcastle for this equaliser, but still they trail Crystal Palace by 2-1.
Very hard work for Southampton here, chasing Manchester United all over Old Trafford, and Rashford in the mood, speeding towards the Southampton penalty area. Right-footed layoff to Fred on the edge of the box. Ward-Prowse comes to confront him, plays it to Shaw. Shaw's ball in, Cavani's header, 4-0. Powerful header. McCarthy couldn't do anything to stop it, and Manchester United are racking up a big number at Old Trafford. Manchester United 4, Southampton 0.
Yeah, it's a very good goal for Manchester United. Lovely header by Cavani. No chance for the Southampton goalkeeper, but you're just looking at Southampton now, and the problem is they've actually stopped picking people up, and a decent cross in, and all the time now it's a red-shirted Manchester United player who's on the ball and who has the opportunity.
Tell you what, Mark, you mentioned the game because I was actually there, the 9-0 defeat against Leicester. Ryan Bertrand got sent off early in that game. I think Leicester were 5-0 up at half-time, but kept going. You do wonder here, because the way this is going, Southampton are conceding some easy goals. They trail 4-0. We've still got 6 minutes left in the first half. Full time at the Vitality Stadium. Chris Wise.
Big win this. Bournemouth 1, Sheffield Wednesday 2. First away league win since October the 17th for Wednesday. 4 wins from 5 in the league as well for their caretaker boss Neil Thompson. Patterson and Rhodes with the goals for Wednesday. Rhodes in the 90th minute. Stanislas for Bournemouth, but they've lost 4 league games in a row now. Bournemouth 1, Sheffield Wednesday 2.
Edison Cavani's first goal at Old Trafford,
really,
as well, with no one here to see it.
How old is he?
Edison Cavani is 33 years old.
Tell you what, his movement's still fabulous.
Do you know what, Mark? I was looking at his goal scoring record at his last major clubs, basically 104 in 138 games for Napoli.
Yeah.
200 in 301 games for Paris Saint-Germain. Now, obviously, in League One, when you're playing for Paris Saint-Germain, they're going to come. But Uruguay, he's got 51 in 180. I mean, he is a world-class striker.
Oh, absolutely. And he seems to have a hunger about him as well.
Yeah.
I say his movement's fabulous.
I better start writing down these goals and remembering who scored them, actually, because once...
And we need to ask Vicky Sparks if she's got her umbrella yet or not.
Yeah. Manchester United 4, Southampton 0. Here they come again. Oh, Fernandes, little backheel flick, almost got Cavani away. Wan-Bissaka comes forward to win the ball. He's hungry for Manchester United. Sliding challenge on him is a desperate one by Stuart Armstrong. Brings him down. Free kick for United in the middle of the Southampton half. Full-time scores. Blackpool 2, Northampton 0. Crewe 1-0 winners away to Shrewsbury. And in League 2, Exeter 1-0 winners away to Stevenage. And we still don't have the all-important news from Gary whether that coffee machine will be working, Mark, at half-time or not.
Oh, I found one.
You found one, have you?
Yeah.
It's definitely working.
Flintoff's no good.
OK. Cavani, here he is again. Oh, strong challenge on him in the box. Penalty, is it?
He's making his decision. Yes, it is.
Penalty. Mike Dean's pointed to the spot. Interestingly there, the ball broke to Mason Greenwood. He thumped it in the back of the net, but Mike Dean had blown the whistle before he did that. So if actually the video assistant referee decides that this shouldn't be a penalty, Manchester United won't get the goal. That looked like a really heavy challenge on Cavani. Another desperate lunge, really.
It was a desperate lunge, and well, it's a desperate situation for Southampton, as we keep obviously talking about. Cavani did well.
Oh, I wonder, is that outside the area?
It looked as though the initial contact was just outside. Yeah, well, actually, it's not just outside, it's outside or inside, but I think it was outside.
But that is interesting, because had he not blown the whistle, possibly advantage could have been played. Oh, it's outside the box.
Yeah,
it's outside the box. Yeah. It's going to be a free kick, no penalty, and Manchester United might argue that Mason Greenwood...
Well, hold on, Al, it might not be with VAR, might it?
You never know.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's wait and see. Video assistant referee this evening is Graham Scott, sitting at Stockley Park, doing his bit at the moment while we sit here at Old Trafford. Manchester United leading 4-0.
What takes him so long? It's there in front of us. It's outside. What takes them so long? I don't get it.
This will wind you up, Mark. The toe of his boot is on the line of the penalty area, isn't it? I mean, he's just being absolutely sure.
Free kick.
Okay, he's sure. So
yeah, but we were sure about 90 seconds ago.
We were. Have you done the shift where you're allowed to be a VAR, where you go into Stockley Park and you can have a go at it?
No, I'd rather.
Do you fancy that?
I'd rather stick a red hot poker up somewhere that'd be very sore.
2 minutes left in the first half. Full-time scores coming through elsewhere. Portsmouth have won 3-1 at Charlton. It's finished Wickham 0, Birmingham 0. Kane Ramsey booked for the challenge quite rightly. Bruno Fernandes thought he had a penalty to take. Mason Greenwood thought he might have had a goal there, but obviously the whistle had blown before the ball hit the back of the net. Bruno Fernandes, though, will fancy the free kick. Manchester United leading Southampton by 4-0, and the game changed in the second minute as Jankovic jumped in on Scott McTominay. Straight red card.
I just wonder, Ali, if this is one where you move the ball to the side and take the 5-6 men wall completely out of it.
Just poke it to someone and then...
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Bruno Fernandes is staring at the ball. He has got eyes for nothing but ball and goal. Alex McCarthy has already been beaten 4 times. Waiting for the whistle from Mike Dean. No. Oh, yellow card for someone. Someone in the wall has either said something or done something.
Must have said something.
Said something to Mike Dean.
Yeah.
Not going Southampton's way. Will Manchester United get a 5th just before half-time? That conversation's still going. Now the whistle blows. Here's Fernandes. Oh, he tries to go under the wall. Low one into the wall. Maguire gets a touch on it and the ball goes behind 4. A goal kick to Southampton, but he's always thinking, trying to do something different.
Yeah, definitely. And in fairness to him, only one of the Southampton players jumped. Unfortunately for Southampton, it hit the man next to him. He was just planted his feet, so he got in the way.
Crawley 0, Leyton Orient 0. Full-time score in League 2. Manchester United leading Southampton 4-0, and we are into 2 minutes of added time, end of the first half.
I wonder what Ralph Hasenhüttl will say to his players at half-time.
We've been here before?
Yeah. It is so difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It's not through lack of trying, working hard, etc. It's just, well...
It's funny though, Mark, because like you say, and you said very early on, sometimes it actually makes it harder for the team with 11 to break them down, but they've just gone through them, haven't they?
Yeah, absolutely, like a dose of salt.
Yeah. Jack Stevens, Cornish Maldini, booked.
All right, okay.
So that's Ramsey and Stevens on yellow cards.
Should have given him some Cornish. Mike Dean wouldn't have understood it.
That's true. Here's Luke Shaw, a couple of assists for him this evening. Scorelines elsewhere, so Millwall 0, Norwich 0 it finished. Sheffield Wednesday have won 2-1 at Bournemouth, as we were hearing from Chris Wise. Wycombe 0, Birmingham 0 it's finished. Coventry 1, Nottingham Forest 2, latest scoreline at the moment. Swindon have beaten Wigan 1-0, Blackpool 2, Northampton 0, Portsmouth 3-1 winners at Charlton, and Crewe 1-0 winners at Shrewsbury.
Ali, I can't remember Luke Shaw being in a defensive position for Manchester United at all in this game.
Well,
at all.
Yeah, that's interesting because Gineppo, I mean, when Southampton are going forward, can be a tricky customer, but he's basically been trying to help Kane Ramsey at right back. Another goal at Kilmarnock, Rory Forsyth.
Simple goal, ball over the top. Edouard, who scored from the penalty you had when you were most recently here, a simple shot to finish. It's all over now, you would imagine, for Kilmarnock. Celtic 3 goals in front and we're on the hour mark.
Thank you, Roddy. Accrington 5, Bristol Rovers 1, latest kicked off at 7:30. Forest Green Rovers in League 2, 2-1 winners at Carlisle. Crawley 0, Leyton Orient 0, I've just given you. Exeter 1-0 winners at Stevenage. Half-time whistle blows at Old Trafford. A 45 minutes for Southampton to forget. A 2 minutes for Alexander Jankovic to forget. First start for Southampton, went for a bouncing ball, went in high and hard on Scott McTominay. Straight red card for him. And from that point on, really, it took Manchester United a little while to get their first goal, but they've crushed them.
Yeah, and to filter in the fact that Southampton are a seriously depleted side anyway, and have struggled to really get a team out as much as anything. And there's basically nothing they can do. They're working hard, they're trying hard, but this could be anything. Really, seriously could. 4
goals for Manchester United from Wan-Bissaka, Rashford, Cavani, and Jan Bednarek with the own goal. Let's wait and see what happens in the second half. Manchester United 4, Southampton 0.
Ali, just before you crack open your flask of tea, just tell me what happened again in that what would have been the 5th goal.
So Cavani is dribbling into the penalty area. He's just about to get into the penalty area. Kane Ramsey slides in on him and catches him, and the ball goes spinning off. Bruno Fernandes, aware as ever, lets it run through his legs, and Mason Greenwood is there to stick it in the back of the net. Before it gets to Greenwood, Mike Dean has blown for a penalty, which wasn't a penalty because the challenge came outside the penalty area. Had he held on the whistle and allowed the advantage to be played, to my mind, I'm just thinking it through out loud, that goal would have stood if Greenwood wasn't offside. I mean, someone might correct me on that, but I think that possibly could have been a fifth.
I just think it was one of those strange situations where it maybe required revisiting.
Yeah.
I think it's just an odd situation. Look, but Loro, in looking at that first half, it wasn't really important whether Manchester United got the 5th goal or not. Although, as Paul said on social media, good chance to get some goals to help with the goal difference. Look, it's Manchester United in fantastic form against Southampton, who went down very early to 10 men in this game, and you get the feeling this could get worse for them.
Yeah, well, also, Kelly, just as they left the pitch, Ralph Hasenhüttl said to one of the coaching staff, his Southampton coaching staff, to the substitutes, was get them out and get them warming up. So I would imagine he's going to make wholesale changes. But as we keep going on about it and boring people to death, is the fact that, they've hardly got any substitutes of quality. And I'm not being detrimental about that. That's just the way that it is. And I think we said in commentary, it's just a case now with Southampton. It's just try and show some character. But if Manchester United are the same in the second half, the score could be anything, couldn't it?
Mark Lawrence and Alistair Bruce-Ball will be back at Old Trafford with you for that second half, and we'll find out exactly what happens in that game. Meanwhile, at St James's Park, Newcastle against Crystal Palace. Vicky Sparks is there. Vicky, we had a message in from a Newcastle supporter who said, We should be 5-2 up. How on earth are we losing this game? It just doesn't. The reason it stood out is because it doesn't seem like a message that would be typical of a Newcastle fan this season. So what's been going on?
No, well, they've wanted to see their team on the front foot. They've certainly been on the front foot for a lot of this match, but then so have Crystal Palace as well. Newcastle won, Crystal Palace 2 at half-time, and as that fan alluded to, it has been a half absolutely packed with chances. Just the 3 goals, the first for Newcastle inside 2 minutes. John Joe Shelby's drive from the edge of the D. Palace hit back in similar fashion through Riedewald, a rocket, although it did take a deflection on the way through. I'm not sure Darlow would have stopped it though anyway. Such power behind that strike. Cahill then flicked in a header from Eze's free kick for his first Palace goal. Zaha had an effort ruled out for offside, but then as shell-shocked Newcastle rumbled back to life, Guaita saved brilliantly from Fraser in on goal. Almiron's free kick took a nick off the wall and the bar. Clark sent a header wide. Shares driven just past the far post as well. There are more goals definitely in this one. Newcastle won, Crystal Palace 2 at half-time. Wish me luck, Kelly. I'm going to sprint for the car and get that umbrella.
If you can't beat them, join them. I'm just hoping that some of those bodies go down so you're able to see the goals if there are more in the second half. Go quickly, Vicky. Make sure you're back for the second half of that one. Thank you very much so far. Lots of Crystal Palace reaction as well. Tom said we look good going forward, but some of our defending's been dreadful. But Archie said Gary Cahill's got to be one of our best signings in recent years. Not a bad goal scorer too. Difficult to work out quite why there haven't been more goals, but as it stands, Newcastle 1, Crystal Palace 2 is the latest score at St James's. Back on for the second half of that one on Sports Extra. Meanwhile, at Rugby Park in the Scottish Premiership, it's Kilmarnock against Celtic. That was a 7:45 kickoff, and Roddy Forsyth is there.
As Vicky Sparks might say, it never rains but it pours. Certainly that's the case for Kilmarnock. They're 3 goals down to a Celtic side who were under heavy criticism at the weekend after losing to St Mirren. The goals coming in the first half from Scott Brown. It was a delectable delivery from David Turnbull's corner kick, and the Celtic captain, back after 2 games missing from suspension, it got his header away from Alan Power and into the net. And then just after half-time, penalty kick for Celtic. A bit dubious in my book, but nevertheless Edouard took the penalty kick. Goalkeeper got a hand to it, couldn't keep it going into the net, and he was left helpless a couple of minutes later when Turnbull's chip over the top gave the French striker another chance, and he buried it with real conviction. So it's Kilmarnock 0, Celtic 3, and we're exactly midway through the second half.
Roddy, thank you very much. So we'll keep you right up to date with everything that's happening this evening. We will, of course, be back at Old Trafford, where Manchester United are 4-0 up against 10-man Southampton after Jankovic was sent off on his full Premier League debut after just 2 minutes in that one. Newcastle, as we heard, 2-1 down at home to Crystal Palace in a game where there have been plenty of chances. Earlier today, in the early kickoffs in the Premier League, Sheffield United 2-1 winners against West Brom, and Wolves beat 9-man Arsenal by 2-1. We'll keep you up to date with all the latest scores very shortly after the BBC News with Jill Mackenzie.
Listen on BBC Sounds. This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Captain Sir Tom Moore has been described as a hero and an inspiration after his death at the age of 100. The Army veteran raised £33 million for charity during the first lockdown by doing 100 laps of his garden before his birthday. Ellie Orton is the Chief Executive of NHS Charities Together.
It's not just the funds that he raised, it's the inspiration that he has been to so many people throughout the country, that he inspired them to take on their own challenges because he had this attitude of you're never too old, you're never too anything to care, to help and to make a difference.
Researchers at Oxford University say there's some evidence that the AstraZeneca vaccine can help stop people spreading coronavirus. They also found it's 76% effective for up to 3 months after a single dose. Public Health England is investigating several cases of coronavirus with new genetic changes that have been found in some regions of the UK. Tests show they have a mutation already seen in the South Africa variant. Professor Robert Dingwall is from Nottingham Trent University.
Variants will always happen. What matters is that we're aware of them, and the generation of vaccines we have at the moment are relatively easy to modify in response to them if necessary, just as we modify influenza vaccines every year.
The Scottish Government says schools could reopen on the 22nd of February to the youngest pupils and some secondary students who need to complete work for national qualifications. The nationwide lockdown will remain in place in Scotland until at least the end of the month. The Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny has been told he'll be jailed for violating the terms of a 3.5-year suspended prison sentence. He claims the charges against him have been fabricated. And the EU has told British fishermen they are indefinitely banned from selling live shellfish to its member states. As a separate country, the UK isn't allowed to transport the animals to the EU unless they've already been treated in purification plants. The government says it will continue to raise the issue with Brussels.
On BBC iPlayer.
Planet Earth was perfect, but now a new force is sending our perfect planet off balance. Humans. Human activity is now so dominant, it's disrupting the forces of nature and the vital habitats that life needs to survive on Earth.
Can't you see? A Perfect Planet with David Attenborough. All episodes streaming now on BBC iPlayer.
This is 5 Live Sport with Kelly Cates.
Back to Old Trafford very shortly for the second half of Manchester United against Southampton. Man United 4-0 up against 10-man Southampton. In the Championship this evening, Millwall have drawn 0-0 against Norwich. Bournemouth beaten 2-1 at home by Sheffield Wednesday. Coventry beaten 2-1 at home by Nottingham Forest. And it finished goalless between Wycombe and 10-man Birmingham. In League One, Swindon down to 10 men but beat Wigan by a 1-0. About 10 minutes or so to go in the match between Accrington and Bristol Rovers. But it's pretty much over. Accrington 6-1 up in that one. Finished Blackpool 2, Northampton 0, Charlton 1, Portsmouth 3, and Shrewsbury 0, Crewe 1. And in League 2, Carlisle beaten 2-1 at home by Forest Green. It finished goalless between Crawley and Leyton Orient, who were down to 10 men in that game. And Stevenage beaten 1-0 at home by Exeter. 3 games finished in the EFL Trophy playoffs. Sunderland 3-0 winners at MK Dons. Oxford United beat Wimbledon by 3-1. Tranmere 2-1 winners over Peterborough. And with about 20 minutes or so to go, it's Hull 1, Lincoln 1. As we were hearing as well in the Scottish Premiership, we heard from Roddy that Kilmarnock 3-0 down at home to Celtic. Earlier, Aberdeen beaten 2-0 at home by Livingston. St Mirren down to 10 men and beaten 2-1 at home by Hibs. And in the 2 Premier League games we've already had tonight, Sheffield United came from behind to emerge 2-1 winners over relegation rivals West Brom. Billy Sharp got the winner. They are still 10 points adrift of safety with that result. Sheffield United boss Chris Wilder has been talking to Tom Gale.
Chris, I'm sure there's many ways you can describe your side's performance, but a big thing that stuck out for me was character. What's your overriding feeling after that win?
Yeah, we had to dig ourselves out of an hole that we put ourselves in, self-inflicted at half-time. Really poor goal yet again to go along with a catalogue of pretty poor goals this season. Thought the play was okay first half, we just lacked a little bit of speed and we needed to quicken it up and be a little bit more ambitious, and maybe going a goal behind has helped us do that.
Did you have to say much at half-time? Did the players know, or did you need a kick up the backside, for want of a better word?
They knew, mate. Don't worry about that.
And I'm sure you're not going to get carried away, because obviously you're still bottom, 11 points, but it just does feel as though things are maybe a little bit of luck of the green, but you're moving forward, I guess.
I don't think there was anything lucky about tonight's victory, if I'm totally honest about it. You know, I thought we deserved it in a tight game, and we worked hard and we did the right things. We were more us. That we showed last year, more us that we've showed in the 2 or 3 years that I've been here, and we've got to let ourselves go. And that's what I said to the players at half time. You know, it's no good, thinking about the game away from here tonight or tomorrow morning, and could I have done this or should I have done that? Who's going to take the game by the scruff of the neck? Are we going to go after this firm and see if we can get a result and put them on the back foot, and see if we can really put big pressure on West Brom in the second part of the game? And we did, and delighted that we come up with the result.
They did, and that was Sheffield United manager Chris Wilder. West Brom now just 1 point ahead of Sheffield United and 9 points from safety. You can hear from Sam Allardyce in the Football Daily podcast, which you can download from the BBC Sounds app, as well as all the usual places. Wolves beat Arsenal 2-1 in the other match. Arsenal finished the match with 9 men after David Luiz and goalkeeper Bernd Leno were sent off. Arsenal had led through Pepe. Neves equalised from the penalty spot. João Moutinho got a fantastic winner. Here's Nuno Espirito Santo.
It was difficult the first half because Arsenal is a very good team. They were playing very, very good. It was difficult because our opponent is a quality opponent. Pivotal moment that changed the game is the penalty. That gives us the belief that we could go for the second half and chase the game.
It's just a spark like that can ignite your season, can't it?
No, it's not about that. It's about all that happened before, what is in front of us. We are trying to get the team back, the confidence back. It was important before the game, how we approach it. And you have to go because it's harder and harder, and we must improve in a lot of aspects of our game.
What did you make of the second half performance and the way your team saw out the match?
First, it's a beautiful goal of João. It's a fantastic strike. It's a beautiful goal. And after that, with Arsenal with 9 men, requires patience. But we should kill the game with the options and the chances that we had.
Do you feel like the confidence is coming back in the dressing room now?
The confidence is recognizing individual, how can we improve. This is what gives you confidence. How you prepare yourself, how we train is how we compete. So we must raise the standards individually. It's a big moment for us in terms of what it means for what we want to rebuild.
That was Nuno Espirito Santo with 5 Live Sports' George Cummins. There have been some really lovely goals this evening. Remember, you can see them all at 10:45 on BBC One. Mark Chapman is joined by Dion Dublin and Leon Osman for all the highlights. And you also be able to hear Mikel Arteta in the Football Daily podcast, which you can download all the usual places, as we said earlier. Back to St James's Park. That's our commentary match on Sports Extra. Vicky Sparks has been off to get her umbrella and is back for the start of the second half.
I am indeed. Where the players are out, I am now dry. My notes are slightly more legible because the pages aren't so wet. So Newcastle, it will be to get us underway. They trail Crystal Palace by 2-1. So many chances in the first half after that early John Joe Shelvey goal inside 2 minutes. Crystal Palace hitting back through Riedewald and Cahill. I think, Kelly, without wanting to put the commentator's curse on it, there may well be more goals in this one. Both sides going for their second back-to-back Premier League wins of the season, and we're underway in the second half.
Vicky, thank you very much. And if there are any more goals, then Vicky will bring us right up to date with that. And you can listen to the commentary on Sports Extra. Right now, though, we're heading back to Old Trafford for the second half of Manchester United against Southampton. Could things get worse for 10-man Southampton? Let's find out with Mark Lawrenson and Alistair Bruce-Ball.
Thank you, Kelly. Mike Dean's just blown the whistle. Second half is underway. Manchester United have made 2 changes. So Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has taken off Luke Shaw and Edinson Cavani and brought on Donny van de Beek and Anthony Martial. So Harry Maguire has come over to the left-hand side here. It's a 3. It's Wan-Bissaka on the right of the 3, Lindelof in the middle, Harry Maguire on the left of the 3, and then sort of Fred playing in a right wing-back role. And on the ball now is Mason Greenwood. So we'll watch that take shape early in the second half. Really absolutely no idea what's coming in this second half. Might depend a fair bit on the attitude of Manchester United and how the 2 changes affect things. Like I said, last season I saw that Leicester 9-0 win away to Southampton. That was against 10 men from early on. That was 5-0 at half-time, and Leicester were hungry and really went after the goals in the second half. Manchester United leading 4-0, playing in the red shirts, white shorts, black socks, and shooting towards the Stretford end away to our left-hand side in this second half. Lindelof's chipping a ball into the edge of the area. Bednarek, who scored one of the goals inadvertently for Manchester United in the first half, deflecting a Marcus Rashford cross into his own net. Lindelof's clearance is blocked by Danny Ings, and the ball runs off Ings and into the arms of De Gea. So De Gea in goal, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire. Then you've got...
I think Fred's just allowed to roam up and down the left.
Okay.
To be honest with you.
And Greenwood up and down the right.
Yeah.
And then McTominay in midfield with Van der Beek. And then Rashford, Bruno Fernandes and Martial through the middle where Cavani was. Fernandes to Rashford, tries to get the ball back to him, edge of the area, bouncing awkwardly for Kane Ramsey, one of the Southampton players on a yellow card going into this second half. Gineppo on the ball, rare chance to dribble down the right, stopped in his tracks by Fred and out for a throw-in to Southampton. They're 4-0 down. They've got Alex McCarthy in goal, Ramsey, Bednarek, Stevens and Bertrand. Armstrong, Ward-Prowse, Gineppo and Ings, and Shea Adams up top. 4-4-1.
I actually thought if any team was going to make substitutions at half-time, it would have been Southampton. Spectacularly wrong.
Throw in for Southampton. They're in dark blue shirts, which they might not want to wear again for a while. Blue shorts of a slightly lighter tone I now see in the second half, and blue socks to match. Adams is tripped as he goes running down the right. Southampton win a free kick.
Well, that's good then, because Manchester United went to Southampton, got beat 6 and changed the strip at half-time, didn't they?
That's right. Sir Alex Ferguson blamed the shirts, didn't he? I think it was the grey kit, wasn't it, at Southampton. This is 4-0 to Manchester United, and they are going level on points with Manchester City at the top of the Premier League table. Ball down the left here from Stevens. Can't release Bertrand, who was getting well forward for Southampton there. On the ball is Fred inside his own half. Gives it to Fernandes. Back to Rashford. Rashford to Fred. Just inside the Southampton half. McTominay on the spin with his right foot. Quickly out to Wan-Bissaka on the right. Now Greenwood. Greenwood finds Lindelof. Lindelof just rolls it across to Harry Maguire. Lets the ball just bobble off his right boot. And then starts to run gently to his right. Rolls it out to Wan-Bissaka. Scored the first goal for Manchester United this evening. Takes on Danny Ings. Greenwood couldn't control the pass. Lindelof comes sliding in. The ball will break for Wan-Bissaka wide on the right. Chance to get a cross in. First time ball. Almost found Rashford. Chested down by McTominay. 25 yards from goal. And then Harry Maguire on the turn with his left foot finds Fernandes. Fernandes low to McTominay. McTominay 35 yards out. Fairly central position. Wide to Rashford. Rashford just stops for a second. Draws Gineppo in. Plays it back to Maguire. Again, no pressure on Maguire, just floats the ball out to the left. Fred slightly loose first touch. Gineppo came in to try and win it, couldn't quite do so. Fernandes on the ball. Finds Lindelof. Lindelof, low pass to his right to Wan-Bissaka. Back to Lindelof. Now McTominay again in that central position outside Southampton's penalty area. And Fred, Rashford makes a run wide left for him. Fred comes back into the middle of the field. McTominay. Southampton just defending the 18-yard line at the moment. Wan-Bissaka dummies across, beats in, floats across up, might run to Martial. Ball is bobbling around inside the Southampton penalty area, and they manage to head it away.
I think it's important that Manchester United just play two-touch, Ali. You know, second touch move all the time.
Not doing that right now. Out there, Fernandes tries to do that. Plays a little 1-2 with Greenwood. Looks for another option. Chips it to his left. Here's Fred. Southampton with everyone behind the ball. Manchester United leading 4-0. Rashford to Maguire. Maguire finds Martial. Good first touch. Fernandes gives it back to Martial. Hits the shot. It's blocked at the near post and behind for a corner. That's what you were talking about, Mark.
Yeah. Basically, if you want to have two-touch, fine. But, you know, make sure after the second that you're on the move. Because we're just seeing the line of Southampton blue-shirted players. They're not going to come out from there. So you've got to try and move them about if possible.
Corner taken short by Fernandes to Rashford, back to Fernandes, finds Fred, poor ball from Fred, easily intercepted inside the box. Donny van de Beek gets his first touch by winning a tackle. Fernandes down the left-hand side to Rashford, takes on Gineppo. Gineppo gets a foot on the ball and knocks it out for a throw-in to Manchester United. Full time in the Championship. Nottingham Forest, big win for them away at Coventry by 2-1. Fernandes, wide to Rashford. To Fernandes. Low ball. Martial trying to take it on the turn on the edge of the box. Blue shirts around him. Maguire stretches and commits a foul. And Maguire gets booked for the challenge.
I thought the challenge was decent. The player his challenge has gone down. Must have caught him on the foot. Interesting to see that again.
Mike Dean straight out with the yellow card. Made his mind up straight away.
Here we go. Off Martial. It's one of those where if it hit the top of the ball and gone over the ball, Maguire, you go absolutely, but I'm not quite sure that it was.
Yeah, two players sticking a boot out for a loose ball, and Stevens gets his boot there first, but yeah, I think Maguire's slightly hard done by there. Accrington Stanley 6, by the way. Bristol Rovers.
It's all right, it's only the first set.
And Palace still 2-1 up at Newcastle. Commentary continues on 5 Live Sports Extra. Earlier on in the Premier League, Sheffield United 2, West Brom 1, Wolves 2, Arsenal 1. Arsenal ending up with 9 men. David Luiz sent off just before half-time for the denial of a goal-scoring opportunity. And then Bernd Leno, handling the ball well outside his penalty area, sent off in the second half. Van der Beek catches Armstrong, and now he's going in the book.
Well, I think that is a booking. And for me, therein lies the difference. That most definitely.
Van der Beek in the Van der Boek. Manchester United 4, Southampton 0. Mike Dean's enjoying himself, flourishing the cards, smile on his face as he writes down the name.
Surely not. Centre of attraction.
Mark Lawrenson with us here at Old Trafford. Oh, Ward-Prowse, quick free kick, good one. Shea Adams took a touch, gets the shot away, it's blocked, another chance, drives it across goal and in. Shea Adams has scored, fires it in low, good finish, just stuck at the task there. Surely not a miraculous comeback from 10-man Southampton. They have a goal early in the second half. Manchester United 4, Southampton 1.
Well, it looked, when Shea Adams got the ball and obviously went to shoot at goal, how it could possibly go in, because there seemed to be a line of Manchester United players. Harry Maguire was the first one. I think Wan-Bissaka seemed to be at the far post as well. So, well done to Southampton.
How sloppy from Manchester United that, Mark, to not be switched on.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it was Fred missed the tackle.
Yeah.
And then Maguire turned his back, didn't he? And Wan-Bissaka should be just another half a yard. No.
Video assistant referee checking a possible offside, and we're looking at arms. We are looking at knees and arms and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes.
Bumps a days, isn't it?
Now then, it's whether the old T-shirt line of Shea Adams' left arm around about his bicep is beyond the left knee of Fred. It's a great radio, this, isn't it, describing this at the moment, Mark? So is Southampton's goal going to get ruled out? And don't forget, they had a late one against Aston Villa ruled out at the weekend for Danny Ings' arm, top part of his arm being ever so slightly offside. Bruno Fernandes has taken the decision into his own hands. He's kicked the ball back as if to say,
why not?
We'll start from there.
Yeah, well, why not?
Oh dear. Let's wait and see.
Come on, make a decision.
Well,
goodness sake.
It's the lines, Mark, though. It takes a while to get this right. And it's a tight one. It's a really tight one, and they've got to do it. And it's the kind of decision and minutiae that is frustrating a lot of football fans this season. Mike Dean is waiting. We're all waiting to see whether Southampton's equaliser is going to get ruled out. It is going to get ruled out for Shea Adams. I think the top part, his left shoulder basically being beyond the last line of defence, and that does feel it does really make it feel like one of those nights for Southampton.
Yeah.
There we go.
You can see Ralph Hasenhüttl's face there. He's just really...
Yeah. Newcastle away for Southampton on Saturday, whereas Manchester United will be at home to Everton. Roddy has seen another goal at Rugby Park. Roddy.
Yeah, well, just as Southampton weren't scoring, Celtic were. It was their fourth goal. Albion Ajeti, and really the command at defence had virtually given up. Heads were down. That's why they didn't see him moving into space and shooting home. Almost finished, and it's command at 0, Celtic 4.
10 minutes gone in the second half at Old Trafford. Manchester United still lead 4-0. Bruno Fernandes, edge of the area, drives it with his right foot, and McCarthy gets down and saves, and Rashford was interested in a possible rebound, but it never came.
I think Bruno Fernandes tried to kid the goalkeeper. He shaped up to bend it away from the goalkeeper's left, thinking that the goalkeeper would read it, and if anything, he read where the eventual shot went, which was quite clever.
Interesting discussion on the Monday Night Club last night. Mark Chapman was making the point that on the FIFA game, Bruno Fernandes, pronounced by the commentator as Bruno Fernandes, in the proper sort of Portuguese style.
Portuguese?
Yes. And if you've ever heard Nuno Espirito Santo say his name properly, and if we ever had a go at that...
What, his own name?
Yeah, so he looks at the camera. At the start of the season, all the players and managers look at the camera so that we can get used to the pronunciations, and then some of them will try and be as faithful as we possibly can, and others we decide not to. Nuno Espirito Santo looks at the camera and goes, Nuno Espirito Santo. So we don't go with that one.
No.
Manchester United leading 4-0. Full time, by the way. Accrington have beaten Bristol Rovers by 6-1. Mason Greenwood on the dribble down the inside right channel. Little nutmeg from Greenwood, still going, arrowing in towards the near post. He's tackled, and Ryan Bertrand clears with his left foot. By the way, if you want to watch that episode of the Monday Night Club, it is now available on the BBC iPlayer. Also an interesting conversation in there about building team morale via the means of crown green bowling.
Really?
Yeah, apparently, Mark. That's Rory Smith, Michael Richards and Chris Sutton in discussion with Mark Chapman, and it's also available as a podcast via the Football Daily on the BBC Sounds app. Fred on the ball for Manchester United, plays it wide to Rashford, back to Harry Maguire. This is at walking pace at the moment. Maguire back to Rashford, onto his right foot. Ward-Prowse easily cuts that cross out. Rashford wins it off Adams. McTominay. Fernandes tries to turn it around the corner to Martial. Ward-Prowse is there again. Plays it to Gineppo on the right. Adams holds off McTominay. McTominay then sticks a foot in and sort of rolls the ball away from Adams and wins it back for Manchester United.
Everyone's having an extra touch.
Yeah. Van der Beek. Hopefully we'll see a bit more of him in this second half as well, and what he can do. Short of chances so far this season for Manchester United. Wan-Bissaka wide to Mason Greenwood on the right, who's got that sort of loping gait as he runs off the ball. Plays it to Lindelof, across to Fred, back to Rashford, wide on the left. Rashford to Maguire, central position, 35. Yeah, exactly. I was thinking maybe hit it with the right foot. Fernandes will hit it with his right foot in a tight space. Ward-Prowse manages to nick it away. Rashford has it again on the left for Manchester United. Gineppo is there. Rashford back to Fernandes. Low ball doesn't find Fred. Fred slips, tries to play the ball on the floor, can't do so. Southampton come on the counter-attack. 2-on-2 for a second here. Armstrong's got a long way to go. Crosses the halfway line. Wan-Bissaka took the ball, says Mike Dean, as he makes that round shape with his hands. So Manchester United will turn and go, and Daniel James is going to get a run out for United as well. Do we Rashford, do you think, maybe?
I think quite possibly, yes. Or
Greenwood.
Or maybe McTominay or Fred.
Yeah, get another attacker out there. McTominay plays the ball to Greenwood, who's popped up in the inside left channel. Wide to Fred, the Brazilian, back to Greenwood. Passes to no one in particular there. McTominay says, I'll make that mine, I'll get there, and there was no Southampton player nearby. Frustrating experience for Southampton, this. 4-0 down and just ball chasing at the moment. Fernandes, edge of the area, rolls it out to Wan-Bissaka. Low cut back. Ings is there, clears with his left foot into the empty stands at Old Trafford and out for a throw. Manchester United leading Southampton by 4-0. Marcus Rashford is coming off.
That is not a surprise, is it?
I think good to give him a rest, isn't it, from Solskjaer's point of view. Yeah. So he's had a goal and an assist this evening. Full time at Rugby Park. Roddy Forsyth.
Come on at nil, Celtic 4. Scott Brown opening the scoring for the champions in the first half with a stooping header. A double by Edouard shortly after the break. The second one a penalty. The first a penalty kick, the second a cute finish. Albin Ajeti nailing it down with his first goal since 27 September. Celtic now 20 points behind Rangers. Probably academic, I'm sure you'll say, but nevertheless, any port in a storm. Come on at nil, Celtic 4.
Thanks, Roddy. Daniel James first touch. Back to Maguire. Again, Maguire possibly could have hit a shot there from long range, decided not to. Played the ball into the area.
The problem is they're just basically going into the scrum of Southampton players, and they just need to get it out wide. Really seriously do, because they're just failing to move Southampton at all.
Yeah. Daniel James has darted in from out wide, and now the ball is wide with Fred. Cross comes into the near post. Bednarek jumps, heads it away. Gineppo tries to control it, and the ball goes behind for a Manchester United corner. Both teams in FA Cup action next week as well. We've got the FA Cup 5th round on the way throughout the middle of next week. Manchester United at home to West Ham, and Southampton, who had that excellent win, which I watched against the holders Arsenal, away to Wolves next Thursday night. So you hope they can get some of their key players back in time. Fernandes corner, headed away and out of that penalty area. Daniel James scurries back to collect it, plays it to Fernandes, wanted the return pass and didn't get it. Fred here, Fred across to Lindelof, 25 yards out, again in this really, as Mark was describing, congested area around the edge of the penalty area. Fernandes down the line to James, stands the ball up to the far post, no one there, it goes right through the box to Greenwood on the right. Greenwood to Wan-Bissaka, back to McTominay, curling ball to the far post beyond Maguire. Gineppo's got it covered, hooks it away with his right foot and out for a throw-in.
Gineppo's actually played really, really well in that new right-back position now.
It's Mark Lawrenson with us here at Old Trafford. We played 16 minutes in the second half. Manchester United still leading 4-0. Fernandes, delicate little chip. Martial back heel, nearly into the path of Van der Beek. McCarthy is onto it. Vicky Sparks, what say you?
I say that Crystal Palace still need Newcastle by 2-1 at St James's Park, but a blow for the visitors. Wilfried Zaha has gone off with what looked like a muscle injury. He was so frustrated, their top scorer, as he came off. He's been replaced by the former Newcastle man, Andros Townsend, and Newcastle just making a change as well. Jeff Hendrick is off. Alan St-Maximin is on, again off the bench, the Frenchman, looking to provide a spark. There's been a lot of pressure from Newcastle in this second half, but I think I did do the commentator's curse at half-time. Much fewer chances in the second half than the first half. So it remains Newcastle 1, Crystal Palace 2. Commentary
continues over on 5 Live Sports Extra. Fred's ball to McTominay, and again we're in this spot just outside the Southampton penalty area, in the middle of the pitch.
Well, it's in between the width of the 18-yard box. That's the problem for United.
Now it's gone wide, and Stevens has followed Mason Greenwood out there. Greenwood back to Wan-Bissaka, looking for Van der Beek, couldn't find him, and then Greenwood jumps in, commits the foul. Free kick Southampton. So,
and a round of applause from their manager, from Hasselhoetel.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has made his 3 changes as well, and we've still got about half an hour of the game to go. So were someone to get crocked and couldn't continue, that's the slight risk you're taking there, although obviously it would only be 10 against 10. If you are just tuning in, this is 5 Live, and you can also listen to us on the BBC Sounds app. We're at Old Trafford. Alexander Jankovic sent off in the 2nd minute for Southampton, straight red card for a nasty challenge on Scott McTominay, as Shea Adams plays the ball through to Danny Ings. Sliding challenge from Wan-Bissaka, timed it beautifully, and Manchester United come away with it.
Great tackle, although he needn't to bother because the typical linesman stuck his flag up.
Yeah,
I mean,
had to wait. That's the rule. Fred with the ball down the line, couldn't release Daniel James.
Well, the rule's an ass, isn't it, to be honest with you? Somebody will be badly injured.
Fernandez, that is definitely a possibility. Finds Daniel James, who needs a bit of a confidence builder, so should enjoy this run out. Here's Greenwood, edge of the area, to Martial, back to Greenwood, nicely worked, little one-touch stuff around the box. Southampton get a challenge in. Here's Armstrong trying to dribble out of his own penalty area. Well, that's magnificent. Took it past Martial, I think it was, coming away with the ball, then goes tumbling down very theatrically.
He fell on it
to win a free kick.
Good play.
The challenge was.
He only had another 7 to beat.
Yes, exactly. That was Scott on Scott. That was McTominay on Armstrong.
McTominay's laughing.
Yeah. Free kick Southampton. So Palace 2-1 up at Newcastle. Manchester United cruising here 4-0, and Southampton with that goal disallowed for a very tight offside early in the second half. Tomorrow night, Burnley, Manchester City, 6 o'clock kickoff, full commentary on 5 Live. Liverpool, Brighton follows at 8:15. Fulham, Leicester on Sports Extra at 6 o'clock tomorrow. Villa, West Ham is your commentary on Extra at 8:15. I think Southampton are going to make a change. Nathan Redmond will come on for them.
I bet he's absolutely over the moon.
And Gary's holding 9 fingers up, which tells me that Danny Ings is going to get a breather for Southampton. At least I think that's what that means. McTominay. Oh, Fernandez trying the little back heel. No-look pass. Cut out, nearly found Van der Beek. Ward-Prowse bringing it forward for Southampton. Got a little bit lucky. Now he knocks one over the top for Shea Adams, who I think stopped running because he thought he was offside.
He was offside.
Yeah.
So the linesman will probably flag in 3 minutes.
All the post-match reaction in the Football Daily for you tomorrow. Available via the BBC Sounds app. Here's Van der Beek. Bring the ball across the halfway line, across to Wan-Bissaka. Well, at the moment it doesn't look like it's going to be a 9-0, but certainly when you get to sort of 4-5 at half-time, that's when you do start flicking through the record books and looking for record wins and stuff like that. Fred down the line to Daniel James. James decided not to cross, knocks it through the legs of Gineppo, back to Fred. Fred's curling ball to the far post, chested down by Danny Ings. It's behind for a corner, and Ings just smashes the ball.
Booted it into the Stretford end.
Into the Stretford end, which is covered in long red banners. Although I do like a lot of the banners here at Old Trafford have got those sort of collage of photos to make it look like people are actually inside the stadium.
The only problem is because of all the red, which is kind of ground level.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's difficult if you're on the ball. Like if you're Maguire, you want to play a diagonal pass to Wan-Bissaka, sometimes you can't see him. They just kind of float into one.
Corner for Manchester United. Ball bounces to the edge of the area. Fred lines up the right-footed curler. That was going well off target, but it was blocked by Ward-Prowse on the edge of the box. Redmond is still waiting to come on for Southampton here. McTominay on the ball, inside his own half, right-footed low pass to Fred, and Southampton again in their defensive lines, just stopping Manchester United getting through. Fernandes curling cross with his right foot. Martial jumps, couldn't quite get a header on the ball. Adams onto it for Southampton, edge of his own box, rolls it out to Gineppo, who's probably exhausted from all the defensive effort, but now has to try and create something. Down the right it goes to Ings. Ings delays the pass forward, comes back to Ward-Prowse inside his own half. Bednarek side foots one into Armstrong. Armstrong across here to Stevens and wide to Bertrand. Wan-Bissaka tried to make the tackle. Good build-up from Southampton there.
Great flick as well from Ward-Prowse.
And now Kane Ramsey wants support just outside his own penalty area. Ward-Prowse first time ball to Gineppo down the channel. Shea Adams is not going to be able to get that. In a way, Mark, I mean, this is not going to be a good night for Southampton. The fact that they've had someone sent off in the second minute, does it make it easier to write it off?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And the lack of quality substitutions on the bench as well.
Yeah. Manchester United with possession of the ball again, as they have had throughout the entirety of this second half pretty much. Daniel James, corner of the Southampton box, back to Maguire. Mike Dean's in the way, so he hops out.
As per.
Maguire across to Fernandes. Fernandes doing that thing where he's telling Lindelof where to play, even though it's not to him. He says play that to Wan-Bissaka, which he does. It comes across to Maguire. Maguire to Fernandes. Fernandes chips one in towards Martial, tries to chest it down, holds off the defender and shoots high into the net. Fabulous finish from Anthony Martial. He had a lot to do there from the Fernandes chip, chested it down, held off his man and smashes it into the roof of the net.
I thought he looked offside.
Okay, well, the video assistant referee will have a look. Is Graham Scott going to spoil our fun and Anthony Martial's fun and save Southampton another goal conceded? Let's wait and see. But I think particularly with a game like this in an empty stadium, it does even more so has the feel of a whole sort of training ground exercise, the way the thing's going. Oh, it's a tight one. It's another leaning forward last pass. Good finish though.
Yeah, excellent finish. Excellent.
Goal being announced on the PA. He's off balance there, Martial. He hits it on the half volley as he's falling away. He holds off Bednarek as he takes it down on his chest, takes a first touch with his right foot. Stevens comes in and on the turn, as he's falling backwards, rifles it into the roof of the net.
It set up nicely for him, didn't it, for the volley over the goalkeeper.
Is it standing? I think it is. Mike Dean's getting us ready to go. So Anthony Martial is onside. He's joined the goal-scoring fun.
Must have been a fingernail.
Yep. And Danny Ings is off. Nathan Redmond is on. And we still have 20 minutes plus to play. And the last thing Southampton want now, as well as any more injuries as well.
Well, I was just looking at Nathan Redmond and I'm just thinking, he's just come on. He was about to sprint after that ball. I think if his hammy goes,
don't do that.
Ralph will have something to say.
He will. Sheffield United 2, West Brom 1, Wolves 2, Arsenal 1 in the earlier kickoffs today. Manchester United leading 5-0 here, and Palace still 2-1 up at Newcastle. Commentary on that one over on 5 Live Sports Extra. Here's McTominay. McTominay moves left, moves right, then slides it through to Greenwood. Greenwood into the area, the angle's tight, McCarthy makes the save, the rebound won't fall to a United player. Now it does. Oh, McTominay drives it in. McCarthy couldn't see, he was completely unsighted, the ball's come flying past Jan Bednarek and ended up in the back of the net. Manchester United 6, Southampton 0.
Well, it's the cleanest of clean strikes, isn't it? There's no chance for the goalkeeper at all whatsoever, and as you rightly said, I don't think he even saw it at Lee McTominay's boot, but sweet strike.
Just going to make one other fantasy football point here, Mark, for those listening who like the game.
Go on.
Alex McCarthy's my goalkeeper. But fortunately, you don't get penalised for every goal you conceded, because when no, he wasn't in goal. He wasn't in goal when they conceded 9. I had Angus Gunn last season when he conceded 9, but it didn't cost me too badly. So
the more goals he concedes, it doesn't make any difference.
Not to him, because he's not entirely to blame. It's kind of a whole team effort. If he keeps a clean sheet, he gets bonus points.
Who's made this up?
Mark, fantasy football's been going for. I'll sit you down one day and we'll have a chat about it.
Can't wait.
Fantasy 606 podcast, another one of those available via the BBC Sounds app. We'll be recording the latest one on Thursday, and Manchester United looking for more goals. Oh, McTominay could free Daniel James here. McCarthy outside his area, is there in time, clears with his right foot down the middle of the pitch. Now,
it was a poor ball, Ali.
Yeah.
He had acres, McTominay, to play the ball for James. Acres and acres and acres. It's far too near the goalkeeper.
Next break in play, I'll take you back to St James's Park. Last we heard, Palace were 2-1 up at Newcastle. Gineppo has got the ball through the legs of Fred, bringing it forward, sliding the pass through to Nathan Redmond. Redmond into the area. Oh, cuts it back. Brilliant. Oh, Adams has blasted it over the bar. Had to score there. Southampton 6-0 down, and really should have had something to cheer. And the move to give Adams the chance was fabulous.
That would have been the goal of the game. Absolutely brilliant. They did everything right, apart from, obviously, Shea Adams' finish.
Properly, just write it off, Southampton. Yeah. Honestly, shocker. Just an absolute shocker tonight. Vicky Sparks.
Where Crystal Palace are still leading Newcastle United by 2-1. Again, the pressure being applied by Newcastle, but they're struggling to carve out clear chances. John Joe Shelvey has headed over from a corner. Christian Benteke is on for Crystal Palace in place of Batshuayi as Newcastle come forward again down the right hand side. The umbrella's in the way again. I'm going to have to stand up as it goes down to the corner. The ball is headed into the arms of Vicente Guaita, and it remains Newcastle 1, Crystal Palace 2, 16 minutes to play at St James's Park.
Commentary continues on 5 Live Sports Extra. Let's do the terrible. It's been raining goals at Old Trafford. Should have been a 7th for Manchester United, Mark.
He was actually really unlucky, Martial, because he just dinked it over the goalkeeper, and I think if it had been leg spin, it would have gone in off the post. Just off spin, I'm afraid.
Goal kick for Southampton, and we have 17 minutes still to play. And what I was just remembering was, obviously, Leicester beat them 9-0 last season, which equalled the Premier League record, a Premier League record held by Manchester United, who beat my lot, Ipswich Town, all those years ago by 9-0. On the same weekend, my Italian team that I support, Fiorentina, they lost 8-2 against Lazio. So my two teams conceded 17 goals in one weekend, and United might fancy a 7th. Daniel James at speed into the box, floats it to the far post, too far ahead of Martial, and the ball goes behind for a goal kick. More goals for the taking here, Mark.
Oh, most definitely. Absolutely, definitely. Could have been another 2 straight away with the chances both for James and obviously Martial. And now when you look at those Southampton players, they're all wandering out, heads down, not particularly saying anything. And it's like, come on, referee, blow your whistle, let's get out of here.
Well, we're away from that. 10:45 tonight, by the way. Highlights of the games. Match of the day, BBC One. It was written down on my sheet of paper as it was being hosted by Mark Champion this evening. I don't know who wrote that, but
probably Mark Champion.
Probably was. 15 minutes to go. Sorry night for Southampton. Manchester United doing the goal difference, a world of good, actually. That's another point.
I remember beating Fulham 10-0 in the first leg of a League Cup game, the first leg. We only won 3-2 away, I think.
Did you score in the 10?
I wouldn't have thought so, no. Probably had a cigar on at the back.
Foul by Fred on Shea Adams, who's had one ruled out for a very tight offside and should have scored with another chance. So Southampton will drop to 12th.
Do we know, Ali, if the majority of the Southampton players who are missing, are they short-term injuries?
That's a really good question. Vestergaard's been out for a while.
Yeah.
Walker-Peters has missed the last couple of games, but in terms of their return time, I actually don't know that. Okay. I mean, Romeu played most of the game against Villa at the weekend and came off late. Diallo and Walcott, they all played in that game, so I don't know, Mark, is the answer to that. That's a question we need to ask Ralph Hasenhüttl at the end of the game. Maguire shepherding the ball out of play.
I suggest you probably don't.
I don't think that one's okay as a question, actually. I think there's, probably best not to start with Ralph. I remember I was there when you got stuffed 9-0 last season. But actually, I mean, not being facetious, the fact that they suffered that and came back from it actually means that maybe they won't worry too much about...
It says a lot about the character of the players.
Yeah. Fernandes looking for that slide rule pass through to Martial. 14 minutes to play. Manchester United 6, Southampton 0. Greenwood can't find Wan-Bissaka. Southampton do look tired, and that is unsurprising. McTominay just outside that Southampton area to Martial. Whole load of blue shirts just closing around him. Ward-Prowse has lost it, trying to bring it away for Southampton. Now Fernandes, low pass to his right, finds McTominay. McTominay. Cross to Fred. Fred down the line here to Daniel James. James with a short pass in to Martial. Couldn't quite get it back to James. Rolls to Fernandes inside the box. Goes for a curling shot and gets that wrong.
Greedy one, wasn't it? It's a little greedy one. We knew straight away where that was, or where he was trying to stick it, certainly.
Goal kick Southampton. They are going to bring on Alan Shapshay, who is a 19-year-old French centre-back. And I think I'm right in saying this is a Southampton debut. So he won't forget this in a hurry, coming on at 6-0 down at Old Trafford.
Well, if it stays at 6-0, he's 0-0,
He's
Old
clean
Trafford.
sheet boy, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You've done well to pronounce that out of all those letters.
Well, that's my guess. T-C-H-A-P, T-C-H-E-T. I'm going for Shapshay.
Lucky you.
There's another one, actually, Mark, called, well, luckily, we're supposed to call him Kegs Chalk. But his first name is spelled K-G-A-G-E-L-O. I think there's another letter in there I've missed out as well. So he's Kegs, though.
Right.
Which is good.
Tell you what, that'd be something to Scrabble, that, wouldn't it?
Oof, yeah. Southampton goal kick goes long, and Shea Adams taking a whack in the ribs there. So is McTominay, and actually the two just exchange a little high five. 12 minutes to play. Manchester United leading 6-0 here on BBC Radio 5 Live. And the BBC Sounds app as well. You can listen to live radio on that if you've not got it on your device. Make sure you download it. And then very easy to explore and find your live radio listening. All your podcasts as well. Our EFL podcast 72 plus on their latest one. Lyle Taylor and Darren McAntony talking to Aaron Paul. The Players podcast there featuring the women's game. Leah Williamson and Jem Beattie on that one at the moment. You were talking about leg spin, Mark. Tuffers and Vaughan pod. Is there looking ahead to England's series coming up against India.
Friday, I think that starts, does it not?
Yeah, that's right, which is going to be should be a humdinger.
Well, it'll be a lot different from Sri Lanka.
Yeah, it will. And the Rugby Union Weekly podcast has a look ahead to the Six Nations, which is starting this weekend, and we'll be all over that on 5 Live. And 5 Live Sports Extra. Vicky Sparks at St James's Park.
Well, St Maximin has had a couple of efforts blocked for Newcastle. Fraser hangs the ball up, and the free kick goes Crystal Palace's way. But St Maximin just showing us what he can do, Ali. We know what a live wire he is. They've really missed him when he's been out with COVID, and he's come off the bench again. A little bit of a spark, beating a couple of players in the penalty area, but the shot blocks him behind for a corner, and it remains Newcastle 1, Crystal Palace 2 into the final 10 minutes.
Commentary of that one over on 5 Live Sports Extra. Just heading towards the final 10 minutes here. Manchester United leading Southampton 6-0. Mason Greenwood on the ball, wide on the right. It's got the beating of Jack Stevens. Decides to beat him again for good measure. Plays the ball back to Wan-Bissaka. Now Lindelof into the box. Greenwood will shoot, and that's an easy one for Alex McCarthy to save, and he'll lie on that ball for a little while.
He's desperate to score, Greenwood.
Yeah.
Absolutely desperate to score.
4 goals this season, 1 in each competition for Mason Greenwood, but 17 he managed. He is some finisher, isn't he? When he's on song.
Well, the other thing as well is right foot or left foot doesn't make any difference.
Crystal Palace, if they win, they go to 29 points, so that'll be level with Southampton and Leeds. And should remind you as well, Manchester United with this win going level on points with Manchester City, and have closed the goal difference to a difference of 8 between them and City. City's goal difference a massive plus 24. Bruno Fernandes plays it back to Harry Maguire. Maguire comes striding forward, the Manchester United captain. Fernandes lurking wide on the left-hand side, just backpedaling. Feet right on the whitewash there. The ball's gone back into central midfield. Maguire looking for that pass down the channel to Daniel James, intercepted. I don't know why he hasn't hit a couple of shots here at 6-0 up, Mark. Maguire, he's been in position a couple of times, hasn't he?
Yeah, I'm maybe trying to be unselfish, I'm not sure.
Ball out for a United throw inside their own half. Harry Maguire's got a smile on his face, so United coming into this one with 1 win in 4. This will do them the world of good. Fernandes with a lovely diagonal. Martial jumps looking for the flick on. Couldn't quite get onto it. Here's Bertrand. Bertrand down the left for Redmond. Wan-Bissaka slides in. Van der Beek is there. Chips the ball infield to Greenwood. Greenwood to Martial. He's got Fernandes on his left-hand side. Edge of the area. Chips it up in the air. Martial can't get there. Daniel James tries to control it, and it's flicked away from him and out for a throw-in to Manchester United. Wide on the left. We're into the last 10 minutes. United 6, Southampton 0. Fernandes to McTominay. who was thinking about lining up the shot. Lindelof as well, possibly. Wan-Bissaka tearing forward to offer an option, not used. Lindelof. Fernandes on the turn. The ball might run to Martial, goes down inside the box. Mike Dean says it's a penalty. The challenge came in from Bednarek. Southampton feel that Martial threw himself down very dramatically. We'll have a look at the replays.
I felt that he threw himself down very dramatically as well. I think Bednarek's having a word with him, or trying to. Mike Dean couldn't give it quick enough, could he? He's definitely decided that is a pen, he's saying.
Here we go then, we'll have a look on our screen. Martial gets a touch.
Oh, no.
He's going down, Mark, before the touch. There is contact, there's slight contact, but he's on his... no, maybe his right ankle gets trodden on, actually.
Okay.
I think possibly Bednarek's left boot catches Martial's right ankle, I think.
Here we go, this will tell us.
Okay.
Maybe he's knee on knee.
But he's on his way. He's on his way. I don't know why you don't just think, look, I'll beat the defender and score there. Bednarek's trying to avoid the contact. Graham Scott is having a look at 4 or 5 replays here. I think the decision will stand.
Yeah, I think it will.
But Martial is really looking for the penalty there, and I think he's going to get it, which means we get to watch the fun and game of Bruno Fernandes toying with goalkeepers. 7 out of 8 from the spot for Manchester United this season. Blimey, Grant, it's 6-0. I mean, it's not
the World Cup final.
It's not 0-0 in the World Cup final, but we're taking our time over it, and they want to get it right. I get that. Got my tongue in my cheek slightly there. Mike Dean is still waiting for the decision. Is he going to be sent? Oh, Mike Dean's going to come over and have a look. And it's quite a long way for him to go, and he's not running at the moment, Mark. So this will take a bit. Oh no, here we go. Mike Dean's breaking into a jog.
With those little legs.
Newcastle 1. Don't knock little legs. They're quite useful in these press boxes here.
Really?
Not for me. Newcastle 1, Palace 2. Commentary over on 5 Live Sports Extra. And Mike Dean very slowly is coming to the monitor. So there is contact. There is definitely contact, but is it after Martial is starting to go down and thinking, maybe anticipating the contact and looking to win that penalty?
So what does Mr. VAR referee say to Mike Dean? Mike, I think you should have another look at it.
Subjective decision. I think you should have a look. You've given a penalty. Now normally when they go and have another look, they'll often change their mind and say, You're right, I'm not going to give this. But if they've got the courage of their convictions.
3. He's seen 3 so far.
Okay.
This will be the 4th coming up.
Just staring in and having a closer look. Now he's shaking his head and saying, I can't make my mind up to the assistant referee. Oh no,
looks like it's frozen.
Now he's still talking to Graham Scott.
Shake of the head.
This is taking forever. 5 minutes left in the game. United leading 6-0. Bruno Fernandes with the ball under his arm, waiting to take a penalty.
Ali. And if he thinks for a slight second, he's not convinced. Well, just give a goal kick, free kick.
Okay. But here comes the drama, because he's not telling us immediately, Mike Dean. He's stomping back down the pitch, and he wants to get in the perfect position here to tell everyone the decision he's going to make.
What do you reckon?
I'm saying... no, it's no pen. Pen. Penalty.
And a red card. Oh, my goodness.
And a red card.
Me.
For Bednarek for denying a goal. But he's trying to play the ball.
Oh, no.
I thought if you were making a genuine attempt to play the ball... He wasn't on the yellow already, was he? No. I don't think he was.
And the other thing as well is, how about a modicum of common sense?
Well, poor old Southampton now. I mean, Jankovic, no complaints in the second minute. That was a bad challenge. But to be sent off for this, Bednarek is gone.
Bednarek's saying to Martial, have a word with him, basically.
Yeah.
And help me.
Talk me out of it, yeah. I do think Martial is looking for that penalty, and he's going down.
Yeah. Which all strikers do.
Yeah.
Bednarek, he needs to leave the field of play, get out before he says or does anything stupid.
So that's another one Southampton will be missing away at Newcastle on Saturday. This has been a horror show for Southampton tonight, but you do feel for them on this one. And eventually, after all that time, we're going to get a penalty for Manchester United. And Bruno Fernandes is going to try and score their 7th goal of the evening, and he's standing straight onto the ball, not to the left, not to the right, edge of the area. Now he moves to the left, few short steps, jumps in the air, sends McCarthy the wrong way, and as it normally does with a Bruno Fernandes penalty, it ends up nestled in the back of the net. Manchester United 7, Southampton 0.
Yeah, well, in fairness to the Southampton goalkeeper, he just decided he was going one way regardless. Unfortunately for him, it was the wrong way. And of course now for Southampton, so that's 2 players missing for the Newcastle match.
Yeah.
They're already seriously depleted, as we know, from tonight's starting 11 plus all the players on the bench. So not going to be a good few days for the manager.
Yeah. St James's Park, Vicky Sparks.
But Crystal Palace still lead 2-1, and they are soaking up all the Newcastle pressure. Cher and Shelvey have both fired over for the home side, but Crystal Palace holding firm at the moment, heading for back-to-back wins in the Premier League for the first time since the opening 2 games of the season. Newcastle 1, Crystal Palace 2, 2 minutes plus added time to play.
Thank you, Vicky. Commentary to closing stages on 5 Live Sports Extra. Now, who's getting a yellow card now? Stuart Armstrong getting booked, is he, for delaying the restart?
I really don't know.
It's all got a bit shambolic.
It's silly.
Yeah. Mike Dean is... Yeah. Armstrong kicks us off.
I think he probably said something.
Yeah.
Rather than the delay.
Yeah. Manchester United leading 7-0. The thing, and we'll check this after the game, Mark, I think I'm right in saying that if you're not making... So David Luiz was sent off this evening for something similar because he's not making a genuine attempt to play the... I think Bednarek's trying to get out of the way
Absolutely,
there.
100% trying to get out of the way. Really seriously was.
89th minute, we're going to have loads of added time, and Manchester United are coming at Southampton again, and they're leading by 7 goals to 0. And Southampton are down to 9 men, by the way, now. Good luck, Gary Flintoff, with the post-match, by the way.
He's gone home, Gary Flintoff.
Do you think? He's taking this. Yeah, I wonder where he was going with all this.
See you later, boys.
Maguire, 25. Come on, hit one, Harry. Right-footed. No, he's going to scoop a pass to Lindelof. Lindelof to Wan-Bissaka. Good cross from Wan-Bissaka. Martial drives it into the bottom corner, and Manchester United have an 8th goal. Manchester United 8, Southampton 0.
Shea Adams was asking the referee if it might have been handball. But quite obviously not. It was too easy. I mean, they've gone. Southampton have gone. They've collapsed, haven't they? Totally.
Remarkable, considering it happened to the same 9-0 last season at home against Leicester. They're now down to 9 men. I mean, absolutely everything has been against them this evening.
Yeah.
But they've crumbled.
I think it's one of those when his team get in, I think Hasenhüttl will say to them, get a shower, get on the bus, let's get home.
Definitely onside. The only question, well, you're right, Mark, they're appealing for a potential handball. So Graham Scott will have a look at that. 3 minutes of added time to be played. Can Manchester United score 2 goals in 3 minutes?
This will tell us if it is handball.
Yeah. Ball comes in. Chest, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
And I think that probably just adds insult to injury, because Martial's won the penalty that's got Bednarek sent off, and there he is sticking one home with his right foot. So I've completely forgotten who scored all the goals this evening. Martial chasing through to try and close a clearance down from Alex McCarthy. Ramsey heads it back in field. Manchester United might be after a 9th here, surely coming back from an offside position. Yes,
offside.
He was. Vicky Sparks, what's the latest at St James's Park?
Crystal Palace have had a huge chance to wrap this one up. Brilliant work by Rudeval down the left-hand side, pulled it across. There was the former Newcastle man, Andros Townsend, unmarked, edge of the 6-yard box, virtually the whole goal to aim at as Darlow was scrambling back across, and he fired wide. It's a terrible miss. Crystal Palace's advantage remains at 1 goal, 2-1. They still lead Newcastle, and we're into added time.
Closing stages on 5 Live Sports Extra. Goal scorers this evening then: Wan-Bissaka, Rashford, Cavani. Martial's got 2, McTominay, and the Bruno Fernandes penalty and the Jan Bednarek own goal. Jankovic sent off in the 2nd minute, and Bednarek sent off in the 86th minute. We have 90 seconds to play.
This game was done at 2-0, wasn't it?
Yeah.
2-0, and Southampton down to 10 men. It was all over.
Yeah. It's been a lovely waft of broccoli and Stilton soup under my nostrils throughout the second half. Mark, was that good?
It's my better half. It's just what she's good at.
Greenwood's ball in. Martial on the hat-trick. Jumps for the header. It comes off him and goes behind for a goal kick.
You're saying a lovely waff. When I first smelt it, I thought you'd put me socks in the flask.
Goal kick for Southampton. Take your time, Alex McCarthy. That's what he's doing. And please, Mike Dean, please don't book him for time wasting.
Oh yeah, could you imagine?
Please don't do that. It's been a strange night at Old Trafford. Tomorrow night, 6 o'clock, 5 Live. Manchester City at Burnley. United now level on points with them at the top of the table. Fulham Leicester on Sports Extra kicks off at 6 o'clock. And then at 8:15, Liverpool Brighton in full on 5 Live. Villa West Ham on Sports Extra. Tottenham Chelsea in full on Thursday.
Ali, could you imagine if Southampton are going home by bus? Oh my goodness.
Yeah. That's a long way home. Greenwood with his left foot, curling ball in towards Bruno Fernandes, heads it down. Oh, scored! It's a 9th. Southampton are going to lose 9-0 again. Daniel James has the 9th goal for Manchester United, and they've totally collapsed in the closing stages here. Bruno Fernandes, little nod down, finds Daniel James, he pokes it home. Poor old Southampton. Manchester United 9, Southampton 0.
Well, we said they're totally gone, didn't we? A great ball in to Fernandes and a dinky little header over the defender, straight to Daniel James, who just helped it in. It was as simple as that.
Penalty in the 87th minute, Martial in the 90th, and that goal in the 93rd. Oh.
Well, he's been here before, Ralph, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah. So that equals the record, because Manchester United beat Ipswich 9-0, Leicester beat Southampton 9-0, and that's it. That is it. The full-time whistle blows. Nightmare night for Southampton at Old Trafford. What a way for Manchester United to get back to winning ways. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, almost apologetic, I think, chatting to Ralph Hasenhüttl at the end of the game. Southampton have got to write it off. Manchester United were utterly ruthless. The late sending off of Bednarek seemed a bit unnecessary.
Yes, it was.
But it's a fantastic win for United.
But I'll tell you something as well. All the Manchester United players are going to the Southampton players, and they understand the fact that, you know, the weakened team, therefore the extremely weakened bench, plus the guy getting sent off so early, then the 2 goals, one after another, and as I say, that was game over. Credit to Manchester United because they kept going, and they've got a 9-0 victory. But this was just a really, really strange game, wasn't it, in every single way, because for large swathes of the second half, it was 4-0.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it just became a total collapse by Southampton.
Right at the end of the game. No hat-trick scorer. Martial got 2. I mean, the thing that started the ball rolling was Jankovic sent off in the 2nd minute. Martial with 2. Wan-Bissaka, Rashford, Cavani, McTominay, and Daniel James and Bruno Fernandes from the penalty spot. What have you spotted, Mark?
Well done, Ralph Hasenhüttl. Went to the officials, gave him the old fist. Never said anything.
They've bounced back from it before. They did it last season, and they'll have to do it again. Manchester United are level on points with Manchester City at the top of the table. It's finished Manchester United 9, Southampton 0.